So we are back. My name is Sekou Sharif, and I will be joined by Obed Jibar and that of Fidel City. And so the three of us tonight again, we're gonna be here, and we're gonna continue to have our discussion. Famata. Um, Let me welcome my colleagues, uh, Obed and that of Fidel. Obed, good evening.
Good evening.
You won't call me Fidel?
Yeah,
Do I look like Fidel?
my man. Good evening, and of course, it's a
Do I
distinguished
look like
pleasure.
Fidel?
No, you were not.
Mhm.
Okay, it's a distinguished pleasure being here tonight again, as we started on yesterday, and we said we're going to be here again on today, and that's what we're here. And so,
Yeah,
thankfully, we're going to
Mhm.
continue from where we stopped. We've got additional information
Thank you.
to give the Liberian people about what has been done at Aminata and Song.
Thank you. And also GTMS,
Yeah, obviously.
CTN,
Yeah.
with their, we just have Aminata, and Aminata Bangura as well.
Aminata Bangura, anything associated with Aminata.
They are not things that are always not good.
Generally, that is not a perception.
Yeah,
though.
I mean,
But in this particular context of bad practices in country,
can we say it's a coincidence
yes,
that
okay, yeah.
issues we are dealing
because
with?
we don't want to stereotype
Yeah,
Aminata across the
Aminata. There are
country,
beautiful
Yeah.
Aminatas around. Okay?
So, they
So,
Good
yeah.
ones.
Yeah, good ones.
Yeah,
Not
man.
like what we're gonna be discussing tonight.
No, obviously.
Okay, so Fidel, what's up, bro?
Well, I'm doing pretty good, and like Obe said, anything that has to do with the welfare of Liberians, and it's paramount to us. And the fact that we have additional information even places us in a position where we can expand more on this advocacy and ensure that individuals or institutions that are responsible for some of the ugly things that go on in our country are reprimanded, because the role we have to play in society is so paramount that we cannot neglect it for anything else. And so our advocacy will continue, and to ensure that institutions or individuals that are involved with the lives of our people are not left off the hook.
So certainly, are not left off the hook. And so tonight we've returned again, Liberians, to talk about important issues. So on today's discussion, we're gonna start with CTN. Because on yesterday we could not talk more about CTN, that of GTMS. So it is just prudent enough to start up with them. But before we go to them, there's something very important happening today.
Okay.
On today, I, along with TT Gibro, that of Kwame Weeks, TT from ELBC, Kwame Weeks from Lina, we had a joint interview with the Secretary General and the Mayor of the city of Monrovia in person of Jefferson Tamakoji. And honestly, during the interviews, I noticed my colleagues themselves, I don't know, maybe the questions I asked or some of the questions I'm asking.
Yeah, I think always I follow the time when you started quizzing the mayor about him not recognizing you, recognizing two of your colleagues, and then later on you asking. A lot of his critics usually say he make a lot of mistakes when he's publicly speaking, and so he said he will always talk because no one is infallible when it comes to the
Of course,
Queen's
and which
language.
is true, to be honest.
Yeah, and so whether he made mistake, but at the end of the day, he got one courage is to send his message across and to ensure that things are being implemented by his thought. Exactly what he got as a young person serving in that particular key position. Most of his critics think it shouldn't be him as
Yeah.
Jefferson Koji serving in that particular position.
And one
Yeah.
of the things that he said, and what I've started to understand about the way he addresses some of the issues. At times we journalists will ask you the critical questions because we want the right
Answers.
answers for the Liberian people.
Obviously.
But you, the newsmakers, It depends on how you respond to them to make it to sound much more better
Mhm.
or to make it sound something controversial.
Yeah.
He said he's a victim of, quote unquote, what people deprive the ordinary people of.
Okay.
Mhm.
And in clear sense, it could be something to reason with because not too many people had the opportunity, bro, to go to school.
Mhm.
When things are happening in this country, the people that could afford, they took their children from here, sent them abroad.
Mhm.
But they called you, you know, and he answered the question. And I said to myself, you know, we're not coming to tell you, so oh, you answer the question good,
Good
or you
or
answer the question
no.
no. But in providing analysis, you know, we say some of these things. And it's something that it could also draw and get, you know, it's a sign of encouragement for those of the people that listen, that if the mayor could say that he's a victim of what happened, that's the reason why maybe he has not been able to learn to a certain level.
No, but how will you say that? But I think
Mm,
when you take it at that level now, then
mm,
another thing will come in. For me, I like to agree with him that no one is infallible
mhm.
when it comes to the Queen's
Accepting
language.
your own wrong.
But this mayor, whether he studied abroad or not, he graduated with honor in this country.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only scholars,
Mhm.
right? Those guys who are scholars who graduate with honor because you might have reached your point,
Mhm.
whether it's full or whatever point, then you get the blessing of the university.
But there are things
to
you need
graduate
to
with honor.
understand.
So when
There-
you graduate with honor,
Mhm.
it means that you are distinct from others. And so publicly, when you're talking as well, you have to be very
But yes,
careful
I
in
want to
how
I
you
want
do
to
that as
differ a
well.
little bit. You know why?
No.
There are people that are very good in writing,
Mhm.
not good in speaking.
Where will you classify Koji? No, I just
no,
want to
wait
know,
now, wait.
No,
I'm not
where
here
will
to
you place
classify
it?
now, right? We all providing, but let
No,
us
you
be
want to
honest.
differ with my assertion on
But-
grounds that
No, I'm not supporting neither. We're just providing
No,
analysis.
you
I'm
said
not
you
here
want to differ
because I was the
right?
one that asked the question.
Mhm.
In fact, some of my colleagues, most of the
Were
journalists
you
out
pleased
there,
by his answer?
it is what he said.
Good. So
I'm not here to tell you
it
his
is-
answer was right or his answer was wrong.
Let me
But
say
I
this.
think-
guys,
Let me say
mhm,
this. For
mhm.
example, if I call Fidel she,
Mhm.
right, and later on come back and correct myself,
Mhm.
then I know what I'm talking about. But
Mm.
for example, if I call Fidel she intentionally,
Mhm.
I think in writing the gather where you repeatedly make
Make
errors.
mhm.
There's a name. Sorry, I'll get it very quickly. Someone will not scholar too, so we will not pretend to be. So at the end of the day, then they know that the rector did not know what he was doing, so he erred.
Mhm.
Or when you're speaking publicly, then you don't know what you're saying. So consistently, you err. For example, you say, I did not did this.
Yes, I did not did this.
Yeah,
I
then
did not
2-3 times you say I did not did this, I did not did this. Also, then we know that you don't know what to say. But when you say I did not did this, and later on you say I did not do this, then people say,
It
oh,
means
okay,
you've
but then he
corrected
corrected
yourself.
himself. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I think the mayor position is not about English or it's not about speaking competition or stuff. It's about delivering and doing your work. What you
So
ought
it
to
is
do.
what he
Yeah.
said, because like I said, right? So
Mhm.
you tend to agree with what I said, right? There are people that will be educated to the best of their levels.
Mhm.
But public speaking is another thing. Engaging the microphones is another thing.
Man,
I'm
Koji
not-
came from the University of
I
Liberia.
know,
He's a
you are
Catherine.
saying
He
the
went
same
through
thing,
all of the
but-
rudiments of the university.
Now let me just
Also-
lay my thoughts on
Mhm.
this. Okay.
Mhm.
I agree with Koji when he says
Mhm.
I am a representation of individuals that were deprived of education
Mhm.
during our war years.
Mhm.
All right. This means that he did not get the fundamental
Mhm.
of maybe going through the rigorous process of primary education or say kindergarten education or what have you. Like some of us, we did not have the privilege of going through that process
Which
because of the war years.
Okay.
I mean, where you are in a
No, let's specify.
Yeah,
You
I'm
did
talking-
not go to school.
No, I
At
went
that
to school.
point-
I went to school.
Okay.
But
yeah.
maybe it's easier to say you did not go to school
At the right
age.
time.
The age.
Mm.
There's a UNICEF age at 3. At age 3,
Granted.
every child should be in school. Now,
100%.
if you did not go to school, if you went to school, for example, started school at age 10,
Mm.
it means you did not have the basics, right, for quality education. Now I will get to the point where you talk about you graduated with an honor.
No, I
No,
want to disagree to that
wait.
particular point.
Before I go,
The
before you
fundamental,
disagree, let me lay my point.
yeah,
Right.
I just wanted to erect
The
this separate.
fundamental of quality education is beginning at age 3.
Great.
Three.
At
Yes,
the
three.
foundation
Does
level.
the age matters or going through the rightful procedures?
No, but
It
matters?
does. It
Okay.
does. Let me tell you why.
I like that.
The reason why those who are researchers, they
Yeah.
said that you should begin school at age 3 is because that is the formulative stage of your mental
That's a
faculty.
general exception. Let's talk about
No,
Koji,
that's
who is a very
no,
young
but
person.
he's
No,
a
wait,
very
no,
exception.
Wait,
Hold
let
on.
me you
We're
will
not
let me
talking
lay
about-
my thoughts. You
we're
will
not
allow
talking
me
about
lay my thoughts.
the general
No,
issue. My
this-
point is,
no, this
Fidel,
should not appear.
this is my point, Fidel.
Yeah.
My point
before
is,
you go to
Koji is a very young man.
I agree.
Very young man.
I
He's
agree.
got age in his favor for everything he has achieved, whether academically
Mhm.
or so forth.
Mhm.
So to put him in a category of the universal issue of a child obtaining quality education from the foundation level, for me,
If
he
you
is
were-
not.
If you allow me lay my thoughts, then I will get to exactly what you want
I
me to
just
get.
think he's not in that capacity.
No, you can't say that.
Mm.
We did not all. I mean, I did not start school at age 3. So
You don't
No,
know
no,
how
wait,
everyone
wait, I
of
am
us.
saying to you, once you did not get that basic primary foundation, it is difficult for you to make amends. Now, making amends at a certain age will require you putting more efforts. Now, then the question is, did he put in more efforts? Then you start asking yourself, what does this? I mean, it's General Apple says, all right? You start making that analysis. You graduated with honor from the University of Liberia, right? Then you start asking yourself, how did he graduate with honor? That's when the question. But I
But
agree with you when you tell me he is a victim of what went on
Like
in
I
this
said,
country.
yes,
Mhm.
like I
He
said
is.
as well.
Mhm.
As a victim, I agree with that.
Mhm.
All of us will say the same thing. Sekou, you, Fidel, and I, right? We're saying the same thing.
Mm.
But when you gravitate to another level now as a scholar,
Mhm.
you talk about making some amendments, right? At that particular point in time when you transition up to a particular level, it means that you have to catch up. And that's
I
why
agree with
as
you.
a scholar,
Mhm.
well, you can start school at age 10 the first day.
Mhm.
You get all of the basic
That's what the
issues, and
making
then-
amends I was talking about.
and then you go to K2, for
So-
example.
So
kindergarten, and then you
you're,
move on and
let
move
me
on
let
and
me
move
know
on.
let me know.
But you know, he graduated now. Some
let me
controversies
let
around
me
that.
let me let me know. You know, there are positions that you serve.
Mhm.
No matter what it is,
There'll be criticism.
there will always be criticism.
Legitimate
But
or
listen,
Yeah.
and there are things we need to be honest about.
Yeah.
For you to accept your shortcomings, it is something very difficult
Very hard. Very hard.
because you will want to pretend
like you
to-
know it.
like you know it. But for this young man, to sit doing such an interview where you have almost all the media institutions in the country. And when I asked that question, and I noticed even some of the journalists that were there, junior journalists, including my colleagues,
So what's a good
why you gotta bring, but I felt I needed to ask because we don't go to these kinds of interviews to go and sugarcoat issues or maybe to ask the questions you think you want to hear, right?
And specifically, maybe that opportunity you
Mm.
had at that point in time to
I
ask
couldn't,
him,
I wouldn't
maybe-
have it so easily. Mhm. So by you admitting to your shortcomings is something we need to give him plus to and say, okay, thank you, but I think you need to improve on it. Because coming to say yes, it is because no matter what we do, there'll always be reasons for actions. So his own reason now he's saying it is because of what has happened in the country.
So, yeah,
and you
yeah, yeah.
cannot say
Mhm.
it is something that should not be accepted.
There's one thing I can say about Jeff Koji.
Mm.
That is his desire to always accept his wrong, right? In this case specifically, the mistakes, making mistakes, all right, it is not unique to him. However, when you make mistakes, right,
Yeah,
the onus is on you to correct those mistakes in the future.
obviously.
That's the essence of why we call it mistake in the first place,
Mhm.
because you have an opportunity to correct them. But then we ask ourselves, those mistakes that he makes, are those repetitive? That is,
Mhm.
when he said, maybe I did not daily,
Mhm.
has he said I did not did it before?
Over
Or the
any
victim
gene.
has something
I
like
mean,
that,
has he
yeah.
said it?
Yeah.
Of course not, right? But he has made mistake in the past.
And the same thing,
Uh-huh.
like every one of us can do. Now, and this is what at times, sometimes it is just about politics. Let us be honest.
Yeah, honestly.
You don't see people having issues with mistakes because these are things that can happen. Even the good guys, they do make mistakes.
Of course.
Because
When
no
you-
one is infallible.
Mhm.
So there will always be time where
but you know
have to
why?
make mistakes.
You know why? We ourselves pretend to know all.
Yeah.
And then we want to critique people when there are mistakes.
Mhm.
There were times, I won't call names. People will say, oh, this person, he lacks the proper skill of pronunciation. He doesn't pronounce well. But the very same person came and made a mistake in terms of pronouncing a word. My brother, you can know this word. For example, you can know this word, you master the word.
Yeah.
At times when
It
you're
took you-
speaking,
yeah.
it depends in
You have to twist and turn
environment,
on that.
yeah.
So, but this is the point. Like
Uh-huh,
you
so-
say, politically, your
These are all-
opponent goes for at times the petty things.
Yes.
So sometimes these petty
and we
issues-
ourselves too need to be honest.
They apologize.
These are not things that we need to look at, man.
No,
Honestly,
is
no,
a
no, no.
politician.
He's a politician. Anything
Listen,
that he
Listen,
does
Sekou,
is taken into
Very well.
consideration.
whatever he does is taken into consideration. He's a politician. In
Mhm.
as much as Koji wants to score a political mark on his opponent, they are also trying to find a fault on him.
Regardless of how trivial
regardless
it
of
is.
how trivial those issues are. So basically, I don't think the job of the mayor depends on the English.
On
you
the
speak.
English
Like
you
I
speak.
said,
Yeah.
but again, when it comes to the issue of education and this, there were also controversies surrounding
And to
how he
have-
graduated from the university.
That's very
which
good.
should concern us as media practitioners.
Mhm.
Did we take a step further in investigating and bringing?
I mean,
to
how you
our
going to
next-
investigate
Oh,
out?
yes, obviously.
That
Because
figure there will
no,
have to
Fidel,
do because they in the
you
educational
working that
sector.
cycle,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
that when someone obtains a particular degree, it
Mhm.
happens to one guy, I think an accountant at the Ministry of Justice or so.
Mhm.
He did not complete his courses or so allegedly, and then the university graduated him. It is a concern to know because that in that particular line, you want to sense cheating as a form of criminality or so. Because if you don't complete the full courses for which you went there to graduate for,
You should not-
it means you
not-
brag away. That's being criminal, right? For example. So the controversies around Koji's graduation and all those things would have given us media practitioners the urge, the courage to take a step further and dig deeper into these issues.
Let me tell you what made it difficult. All right. The administration herself came out and said, I mean, he got his grades
Yeah,
based
so
on merit.
where you
There is
going to
no foul
investigate
play.
it?
So what do you start your investigation from?
So that's why I said
Mhm.
I want to agree with you. It makes it difficult.
It makes it
because
difficult.
The person you're going to do your background check on, they are admitting that
There's no
we
foul
get
play.
you know.
So what you
So
want
how
to
does
make
it affect you,
Yeah.
right? Great.
So
So the working today's the last Thursday in the year.
Mhm.
That was a great thing to even
And
do
I
an
think
interview
the
with
mindset
mayor
to
of
what
the-
even there.
yeah,
The mindset to
because if you look at Monrovia, I've always been pushing this issue of what new have we got as a country to show. Every Christmas, you have red, green, yellow, blue labels before the Gabriel Tokos Bridge, in front of the Executive Marshal of Capitol Hill. The flags are all on the light poles, and that is all. There's a department at the City Hall called City Beautification. Nothing new, aside from what the old age beautification of our city. And I agree with your coach when he said the Monrovia City Corporation is challenged for actually to run.
Yeah, he said
For
that.
example, maybe we need crossover bridges to design our cities. Maybe we need a particular public infrastructure at a particular place. And he's got serious money.
And that is why a lot of people have reduced the Monrovia City Corporation to
The
just
waste
waste
collection.
management.
Yeah,
Yeah.
waste management.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's
was
because I mean it is clear,
Mm.
and like you stated, the fact that this young man will decide. I mean, look at other ministries and agencies. How many of them have come up to give us yearly report of their activity?
And I said that, like,
none of
it's
them-
very
many-
important, and we
how
want to
many-
give kudos to Mayor
How
Koji
many
for
of
that.
them-
In fact, from the inception of this we as administration, what is a monthly report, which should be done, or quarterly report, sorry, annually report by line ministries and agencies. yet to be done. To
I mean,
be
the
real
excuse,
honest.
the
To be
excuse
real
might
honest.
be
Mm.
we don't owe it to the public, or
No.
it is not our obligation to bring it to the public. But the reality is,
That is
No,
how
you
it should
owe
be.
it to
when
the
you are
public.
a public servant, especially in some of these roles,
Yeah.
it is important that you communicate with the public.
Great.
Because you do not want to leave a vacuum where people speculate.
Mhm.
We will not go to your bossman desk and take a file from there and can look at the report what you
No, no,
did
no,
over
no.
the years. It is an excuse for someone who's in the financial area, or maybe someone who's operating at the Ministry of Justice, maybe at the Ministry of Justice level. We should be able to know the number of cases that the government has prosecuted.
Yeah.
We should know the number of cases that the government has lost. We
Yes.
should know the number of cases
Either
that
on a
I mean,
periodic
on
basis,
a periodic basis,
so that
to
we,
have us updated.
a common man there will say, okay, this is what the Ministry of Justice has been able to do in terms of cases, and how many cases the government has won, how many cases the government has failed in winning. You know, when you do these things, it make your job very easy.
And so hats up to me, coaching for
Mhm.
taking the bold step.
No,
on
that is not
today.
just one of the things. You know, he
no,
said some things today again,
Okay.
and you I think if
Okay,
you
okay,
guys
let's point-
no, you guys went on the social media. This is the release from ANC.
Okay.
You know, when we had the interview, and when I mentioned the issue about um, the current marriage with the LPDP and the NPP,
Mhm.
and we had it, you know, we went back and forth, and I was clear that there's no correlation with the document in our possession. The correlation document they agreed upon, it has expired. So you have separate political parties arranging somehow, some way to go back
Oh,
into
you
the
mean the
coalition.
CPP?
No,
No,
I'm
the-
talking about the
the
coalition for
CDC,
democracy.
Okay,
Yeah.
Right?
okay.
So
As
the
we
document
speak,
that brought them together has expired.
it has expired, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But this is the thing. When you listen to the other side of the entire process, some of the folks from LPDP, they think that they've not been treated well. Promises or agreements they made,
Mhm.
it has not been fulfilled.
Okay.
Looking at jobs sharing, they've not been factor.
Okay.
Looking at, having the easy meeting regularly where you have political leaders, party chairmen, or officials will make decisions, and at the end of the day, that decision is going to be binding on maybe the president to, like, these kinds of appointments, how they do it, even though the president under the constitution has the constitutional power to appoint, but there's an agreement.
So
You might not do it 100%. I just want to lay the basic.
Yeah.
So based on that, you have the LPDP, you have the NPP. They are having this, somehow rejection. But when I ask the question, sometimes politicians are smart, and so the mayor was very fast to go to a point to say, in fact, they're going to be having more bigger collaboration. I think he used certain word, right? I can just recapture. I will do, which he said is even going to be more bigger than just
What
three
it is
political
now.
parties.
Okay.
So they want to have even more, even up to like 6 or maybe 7. Saying what he said, it is not truth. Politics, anything can happen. Politics is not something because you say Fidel is my friend, so meaning Fidel will support me and say God can call us. No, anything can change, right?
Mhm.
Maybe Mayor Konji knows, or the Secretary General of CDC knows from which background he's speaking from to say people from ANC, or we're having discussions, or there could be a possible collaboration with the ANC.
Yeah.
Mind you, it could not be Alexander Cummings himself. It could be certain major players that are moving the ANC to get the support she's getting today to go to CDC.
Yeah.
It could be, right?
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Mhm.
You never know. Politics is about interest.
Yeah.
So maybe there are discussions.
Yeah. So basically, Fela Kuti said politics is a big business.
Mhm.
And then they said there's no permanent friendship
Mhm.
in
Permanent
politics and permanent enemyship in politics.
Mhm.
Today, we're friends, tomorrow we're enemies, the next day we'll come back to collaborate.
Mhm.
So
So
any
anything is
political
possible.
institutions
Mm.
would like to fish from another institution.
Mhm.
There were mass exodus before from
Mm.
other parties to the Liberty Party.
Mm.
And then, I mean, at that point in time, a lot of people say, oh, today the other person, big fish joining the Liberty
Mhm.
Party.
Mhm.
The mayor said there are talks, ongoing conversations
Mhm.
to have the ANC join this
The
collaboration,
collaboration.
right? If that is the quote from the mayor,
Mhm.
it means that at his position as the chief
That's it.
scribe
Mhm.
of the CDC, you've got serious information
Mhm.
for ongoing negotiation about maybe getting key actors
Mhm.
that will eventually convince folks to join
Mhm.
the CDC.
Mhm.
It could be Cummings as well. Cummings
Yes.
could be talked to,
So
but maybe at the level of
maybe
George
there could be
Weah saying,
offers, you know.
offers and all the
Oh,
kind
my
of
man,
things
we want you to
and
be
say
this
over,
thing.
which is not a problem in their political space because that is the intent. Maybe they say, okay, my man, we got common goal. Politically, let's divide this thing. You got H in your favor. After we are towards them,
Mhm.
or so, let's do the game.
Press conference.
Travels, all the meetings, all the
Mhm.
discussions he had during the year. And the third one was politics.
Then I think the plate was wrong. And I'll say this clearly.
Mm.
The plate was wrong. The focus
Why?
today.
To discuss politics?
No, you shouldn't have. It kills
Oh,
the
that's how
message.
you see it.
That's how it is. What's the trending thing on social media right now?
Mhm.
What's the trending thing on social media right now?
Mm.
The trending thing on social media is that
ANC is talking to
That's it.
CDC.
what does
So
it
it
mean?
overshadowed.
It
That was the
overshadowed-
news of the day instead of the
It-
workings of the
workings of
mayor.
the- it's what I'm
Listen,
saying.
listen.
I'm
But who
saying
knows
to
that? Who knows that that's something that they want to let the public know?
So that's what the
it comes
mayor
from two
wanted?
perspectives.
Who knows? So I'm not
No.
saying it's what you wanted, but who knows?
So I'm asking as to whether you're thinking in that direction as well.
Because you're thinking about what has taken the lead, right? Like you said,
Sometimes
ANC.
unintended.
That's what I'm saying. ANC
Uh-huh.
is going out to CDC is the
Mhm.
lead now, right?
It's a lead.
But who knows that maybe the people want their thing
Now
to
the
come out the way
strategy-
it is.
now the
So
strategy-
you never know how the
So
newsmakers
Sekou-
want to make the news.
So basically, us as journalists will capture the most important
Mhm.
one there, right? So no one will go over there and say Mayor Koji is having a big conference
Mm.
and he managed to talk to partners
Uh-huh.
that there's a conference coming to Monrovia.
Monrovia.
That's part of our country, whatever this.
No, but he said
Actually,
it.
he said it.
Mhm.
So you will always want to carry the news that say ANC.
the controversial one.
ANC.
So that's what I'm
It's
saying.
going
It's
to
not that.
So
It's
it
not that.
overshadowed the
It
essence
overshadowed
of
the essence
the
of
workings
one
of
of the
Fuji.
workings of the progress he has made in Monrovia, right? As a city corporation, what the progress he has made, the challenges he's confronted with. The essence of calling you is to uplift these challenges and see whether people who are around can come and give him a support hand.
No,
So
but
when
he said,
initially Sekou said,
Yeah.
"Oh, you know this thing, people criticize Mayor Koji because our politics."
They don't know what he's
So
doing.
at the end of the day,
Mhm.
this mayor of the city of Monrovia
It's
calls
getting
a
you
press
updates.
conference and is politically as Secretary General of the CDC also updating the public about their progress to ensure that they get more parties joining them
Okay,
as part of their
so
coalition.
let's go back to this whole ANC and CDC thing.
Mhm.
I will look at it from two fronts.
What did ANC say?
Koji is a very clever young man.
Oh, very.
If you don't, if you
it,
can
it comes to
criticize him,
it comes to let me be honest.
Uh-huh.
And there are a lot of persons even in the CDC, some other parts, they've got problem. I would have or interview with the mayor, ask some of the hard questions, and I want to say this: I really enjoy the mature way of the mayor. Now, listen, let me say this.
Okay.
You asked some critical questions the other time over the press conference, right? At CDC headquarters.
Go
Right?
ahead. Let's talk
No,
about the
no, listen,
mayor,
listen,
Mhm.
we all need to be self-tolerant.
obviously.
It is not because you think that I should do this. If I don't do it, then you want to think, we all need to be tolerant about issue. You can call us journalists. You want us to go ask you, oh Fidel, my man, how you looking, man? You fine, my man. Fidel.
Question you want
Yeah, Fidel, my man. Do I see you, my man? You doing well? And then you say, oh, my man, I'm doing well. It is not the essence of us being a journalist to have interviews because we want to get it truth out of you, the newsmakers, and that tolerance of him allowing people like us, were you to just open the line and ask citizens as to whether the mayor is having media engagement, Sekou should be there. Bulk of them would think that I should not be there because they think I always ask questions not that way, but that's the style of what we need to do, to ask these questions. And luckily for him, I think he's best suited in answering some of the questions. He knows how to address them, and most often his answers will suit what he thinks or he believes in. At the end of the day, you see how it goes. Like the question I asked about the way he addresses some of the issue in terms of his articulation. He said what he could say, and we brought the issue about the collaboration that brought about this thing concerning ANC, right? He said what he could say. So I think we need to give it to him.
So
He's
like,
a smart young man
like
too.
I
Like
was saying, he's a smart young man, and he might just be pulling up some feathers. All right, that he's at the highest level, one of the high, I mean, in the highest level at CDC, decision making level at
Yeah.
CDC. So he knows exactly the conversations that are ongoing. Like you said, maybe Alexander Cummings as an individual may not be aware of these discussions.
Thank you.
Remember now, we have something called a split in Liberty Party. There are others who are on the other
They
side.
got
There
two
are other
Liberty parties.
So there could be conversation ongoing with a segment of ANC. Who knows? That segment could come over to the CDC.
So-
Now, even though a statement has been released by the ANC, that
They're
we
standing
get
themselves.
we're not keeping conversation with any. The man who writing that statement could be the one who's even having conversation with CDC.
It could be.
So it is a tricky situation. Again, this could be true. This could be a tactics by the mayor to pull up some feathers and see, ruffle ANC a bit and see how strong they are together. All right. I mean, this is politics.
Yeah.
Any strategy
Yeah,
is
so
to be used by an opponent
you
to
directly threw a Misa in the camp
In
of
the
the
camp.
ANC.
confusion.
politically.
Yeah.
So right now in that chat room, if they have a very,
Very-
private chat room, say,
Man, who do
even though we
conversation
have
going on.
acted officially to
But you
what
need
the
to be
mayor
Are we
honest.
said,
talking? Are we talking
who's
with?
talking to CDC?
That is what he has done, and that's why I said he's a clever young man.
So
Yeah.
that's it. So yeah, and so I think we are saying the right thing. Seko would like to agree with you on that particular issue. And so just through our chip chat thing, we can
Yeah. So, uh, you want to read your ANC?
You say your ANC.
Okay. You want us to pick maybe 5 calls, or we just move on, right?
Yeah, that's the public ship being small. Let's
Yeah,
Let's
see
hear what
what
they've
it's
got
what
to
it's-
say. Okay, 0770907907, 0880907907. Please, when you call, we're giving you 3 seconds. Call your name and go to the point, please. Hello,
Yes, Seku. Good evening to Philo.
Spencer. Your ANC is going to CDC.
Thank you, Seku, for the revocation. I'm Lawrence Spencer. I'm in Johnsonville. That fellow is not just living or dreaming, but I think he's very mysterious. The AMC, for me, it's taking a step on this point. We have validated, we are always scared. It's so good that the ANC is in later position to election of democratic change. Hello?
Go ahead.
7%.
Yeah. So like
You
I
got
was saying,
7% leader opposition.
no, but seriously,
You can't even want to bring him up because I to SKD concert, but then you say you major opposition. Go ahead, Papa.
They are two different things. I'm not talking about Apple holidays in that scenario, but that's okay, right? Let me just conclude, right? It's just 2 seconds. So, the ANC remains the most forceful opposition party in the opposition cycle. So, Mayor Cody, I would be dreaming that a possible correlation could happen between them. It's not possible that we say our
But then
statement.
when the top
Okay, but
right
listen.
decide to make a decision over there, yourself will get a correlation.
That is
decision
thinking.
go there.
Okay, Spencer. Thank you very
No,
much. Let me
but
check it.
when the top brass make the decision,
Everybody will follow. Listen
that.
and listen. Before we go to the lines, it is the same thing that the Secretary General said. He said, I think someone asked a follow-up question, and okay, it was the TTT said, Mr. Cummings' request is only to be the head, which is the presidency.
Yeah.
You saying that there are discussions to enter into a collaboration with ANC. Are you going to say that you're going to give the presidency over to Mr. Cummings? And this is what the Secretary General says. You can be dreaming. Let's go to the line. I don't want to go into 0770907907, 0880907907. He said you can be dreaming. These things happen. Sometimes you can have a big dream, eh? You say that the thing you want to do, you just be thinking about it. Hello. Good evening. Oh, we lost this person. Let me.
People can say fantasize.
Mhm.
You fantasize about something.
This person. Good evening.
Good evening, Seku.
Good evening. Go ahead.
This is Daniel there, someone that joined the conversation of this number 10 party to be precise. Seku Sherry, there is no room for this honorable man to be a president of this country. The honorable man does not have the character or the ability to lead. So I don't see any reason whatever collaboration this man going to join, they're not going to serve as the presidential candidate because
You
he's not a
speaking on behalf of the
presidential
Liberian people, eh?
Okay.
Seriously.
Thank you. The next
Speaking on
person.
behalf of
Hello.
the Liberian people.
Good
Yeah,
evening.
good evening. Seku.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Alvin from Conversation.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, and I first would like to commend the brilliant exposition when our mayor and that of our secretary general of our party, Mayor Jeffrey Koji. He delivered it very well. And I also admire the analysis of you guys and arousing the true nature of Koji, saying that he is a great, he has that great attribute, and he's trying to smart man. So one thing that I admire of Major Koji is that he's always, open himself to criticism, and then use those criticism as a motivation for him. And one thing we should
Okay,
understand.
thank you very much. Let me take another person here. Hello.
Hello, Seku.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Avant and I joined from Omega.
Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. You see, Mayor Koji play a smart political game today. This guy went to throw a missile in the opposition camp. You know, he calculated very well. Why he could not carry to a unity party? He sat down and he thought that if I come out with a statement, knowing very well that there are good number of individuals from ANC that came from TDC, if I come out with a particular statement, there's a likelihood that more people will gravitate towards the particular statement. More people want to take a statement with too. So, what is just trying to play a political game?
You think so?
Yeah, he wants to put a focus mostly on like fake news that came out today.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Go ahead. Few seconds.
Yes, yes, I'm listening to your program from last night, and the most important one after we'll be talking about is that business aspect. Instead of talking about the state of
Okay, you're not
Okay, you don't tell what to talk about now, bro. Okay, we're gonna take two more calls. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cleveland, go ahead.
Yeah, Major Kochi has very step today politically.
He has what?
I said Major Kochi has very step politically.
Okay.
Because if he can come on air, he make such decision and that
In that decision,
it not make sense.
in that decision he made,
Huh?
he made a pronouncement of what he think is happening, right? It's not decision, Chief.
That decision is from better of the devil.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Let's take one more.
Okay, one more person. Hello? Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Stephen. I'm calling from Triple Community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my take on this issue is not much about the statement made by the mayor today. But using the facility of the city hall to make.
So where you want a man to go? The man will go on Broad Street?
People use the party headquarters.
Okay,
That
so
facility is a government facility. You
okay,
know, it's a
listen. Let me ask question.
Yeah.
Wait now. All
Thank
be on the line. All the MCC question and other things were to do it to MCC. Then we get on the car, we go to the city.
You see why? You see why? You see, let me tell you.
Eh,
It was necessary that he stick to the core issue that regarding MCC, which is governing
My man,
Liberia.
listen. We were the journalists that asked the question. The man did not say ask me the question. We asked the question, so they tell us the next time. Wait now, boss man. If the man could not listen. If the man could not answer again, we say Koji a friend, right? Let's be honest. So you wanted all to ask the MCC on, then we go to. Thank you,
Okay,
man.
thank you so
My
much.
man, listen, man, you know what? We the librarians we got problem. Let's be honest, my man. We asking the man questions, right? The man did not tell us, ask me this question. But we decided to ask the man questions. So he said the man not supposed to answer there. So okay, maybe we're supposed to end the interview. Then we'll get on the car, we go to we go to where? CDC,
CDC
and
has
then we
to
say,
answer the question.
and say you mayor count now. We ready for the my man. Anyway, they come to interesting, bro. Politics. Oh man, my man, the other thing interesting, bro. So the next time we're having these kinds of interview, we're telling me, see you back the car.
Definitely go to the CDC. But I think at the end of the day, ANC also they did well. They were timely in response to the mayor's comments on today. Very timely. They said as a party, I'm not talking about whether there's an ongoing conversation with individuals, but as a party, they're not going to contribute towards we are second term.
And then they say,
According to them.
because nothing happened, it shows that how the people have read there.
Yeah. So,
My man, let's be honest, we are journalists, right? But sometimes, the professor they call for their balance thing, but sometimes it can really be hard. ANC is saying that the people have read that.
Yeah, but the people have heard ANC now.
They say,
That political party.
that's what I'm saying. They say the people in front of them because.
One thing
And the
is
good
that
thing
there's no
about
small party in this
That's what I'm
country.
saying,
Even
the
there's a party called Lanu.
The good thing about them, they say Mr. Cummings president waiting. It's cool. I like that, right? Yeah, because they would put the
Once you're
numbers.
political leader, you're president waiting.
Yeah, so
And when you go to next to apply, you get it.
My man.
They start calling you honorable.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mama,
So,
mama,
for example,
Liberians
right
are
now,
bad.
if you say you want contest in District 7,
And which I got me to do. I want contesting for the land.
just contest.
You win
So-
electoral race,
You're weak. No, right I say you like you election. So at the end of the day, people start calling you honorable secretary,
Mhm.
honorable secretary.
Nobody can make him leave money while looking for my
Okay,
man.
but on a serious note, we have to move forward. These political actors
My
who
man.
normally do these things. You just
No,
laugh.
but sometimes they
Sometimes,
think I can pull people to certain point. I read the release. At certain point is there. The thing the man said, let me be simple. It shows that he made a affair and the man is the man to work with and he's the next. Then it reminds me about that. We tire rally. You see, they brought the numbers.
It's funny feeling. This is the LGBT people they posting on Facebook. A lot of, you have you seen a lot of too?
You're not saying
The
thing
man
here,
that
but
eating, they say, "Oh, my guys over here." Well, anyway, that's the comic aspect of the conversation.
Yeah,
We have to
gentlemen.
do these things
Yeah.
as well. The year is coming to an end. We can't worry what the problem we started
No
with.
more,
for January.
bro.
So let's
you
let's
can't
just
solve
shake
it.
up a bit. When you laugh, it flex out your muscle and make the dark day turn bright. So, well, let's keep laughing as the year
Someone
comes
said,
to our end.
someone said on the live feed, it said, Fago is president in waiting.
You do, Baba? Okay, okay.
Yeah, my man. You know, sometimes, okay, gentlemen, my man, you know, the job we're doing here, God, you got to. Okay, so folks, welcome if you're just joining us tonight. I have on the show tonight Obed Jiba. Obed, I love to call your middle name. Obed Sebastian Jiba, and that of Fidel City. Fidel, I mean,
No melody for me.
he has no middle name. Okay, so we move on. Obed, you want to start the discussion with CTN, GTMS. For those of you, because the reason why we continue to call the two names, we don't want you to be confused. Maybe
Yeah.
when we say CTN, some of you know the company to be GTMS.
And the service that
GTMS
is
Service
providing
provides
The
for
CTN.
Yeah.
Very good. So GTMS, it is the name that they registered the company with,
Yeah.
which we have the document. We can tell you how many shareholders into it, and so the service they provide, like my colleague said, it is the CTN. So
Yeah.
just so you guys,
So, like Sekou said, we're running an entire episode.
Mhm.
Another point in time, we'll start to flip pages of these documents in our possession. The contract between government and GTMS. And then yesterday, we read on the Aminata and Song issue as well. And so today, we're going to continue. Again, we'll play that particular audio on how Shaka Toure and his team continue to contribute to the worst situation in our country as well. So we begin with the GTMS issue, Fidel. You
Mhm.
know, like last evening we talked about this particular service provided by Global Tracking and Maritime Solutions. If you understand, or if you follow up on their name, in fact, they say Global Tracking
Mhm.
and Maritime Solutions. Have they been adequately providing global tracking and maritime solutions to these people in that particular space? Then the first thing I would say no, because we've investigated a lot. We know exactly what these people are doing. The government of Liberia, George Weah government, has decided to bring in this particular company to add additional breading on the already existing one that most of these custom brokers go to that affect us as the consignee. Because if you shipping goods
Mhm.
to from
Very-
other countries to Liberia, or you exporting, you importing, whatever the situation is, you bear the breading as the consignee, the owner of that particular product you're shipping or bringing in country. Your business, for example, all the business people that are crying in this country. Aside from that, there's a group in this country called Patel, right?
Mhm.
Patel has also been complaining about that particular useless system called CTA, the cargo tracking note. Aside from Patel, there's a group called the National Custom Brokers Association of Liberia. That particular association of Liberia, the Custom Brokers Association of Liberia, is the key stakeholder in the trade environment because while they are the ones responsible for the handling of documentations from the port of upload, I mean, where those goods come from, to the final destination, which is at the free port of Monroeville. And so these guys run after these documents. I mean, they talk about getting all of them, and at the end of the day, they come and bill you. They come and tell you, say, this is what the system put up. And then every time you get paid money, you go to LRA, you pay money. If you didn't pay government revenue, you come and pay for nothing $250 on grounds that this particular money you're paying is intended to ensure that your container is being tracked. They are not doing it. They have a faulty system at CTN that intentionally, if you apply for the CTN number, they delay you. In fact, they came and said, we can give you a CTN number in 24 hours to 48 hours, right? As a minimum hours of that, which is technically 2 days. But nowadays, I want the custom brokers who are listening to call and say we're lying. All the custom brokers who applied for CTN since days ago or weeks ago, they are yet to get that CTN number because the government, they've decided to pull serious breading on us, the ordinary people. So for me, one of the things I would say, we'll talk to the company, but the government, why did they decide to do what they've done? So at the end of the day, the country continued to retrogress. Liberians continue to become beggars in their own economy. Liberians continue to go back. And sadly, these state actors, they're not talking anything because the money from CTN goes through the system and is divided at a 60-40 percentage. So CTN is a big scam. It is nothing serious. It is not generating revenue for government that it will, make provision of roads and hospitals in our country. It is a big fly, as all of us will want to say in the local way. So Aminata Bangura has been able to make her way. This girl is a clever Sierra Leonean girl who comes to the country and make her way through all of the public officials. She's beautiful, and so she used, all of the available means to ensure that her company gets a startup. So whether it's the legislature, whether it's the folks from the executive, she was able to do that properly until today we have this mess we call CTN. CTN, without CTN and with CTN, you will stay free or continue from the port. Because I tell you, these shipping lines in country, Fidel, you can track any container and anything coming to the country right on your phone. You do not need to go to apply to GTMS at gmail.com for any tracking note. Cargo tracking note is useless to the country. It is not anything guaranteed to say the safety of your goods while on vessels coming to Liberia will help you. That's lie. In fact, they'll tell you go apply, you carry a clean report, you carry your LRA, you carry your NIF, that's the import notification paper, you carry all of them to them, and then they come out with some funny number in the system and say, there's the container number, will ensure that the safety of that container. They're not tracking the container as well.
And the essence of having these institutions is to reduce some of the burdens that business people go through. All right, especially consignees. They want to ship their goods from overseas back to country and from country to overseas. Now, these institutions are created to make things easier. Any institution that serves as a barrier to trade, all right, it creates problem for the economy, and this is what GTMS has done. You cannot create unnecessary bottlenecks.
Yeah.
Clearly, GTMS has shown that she's not capable of making things easier for Liberian business people or people who are importing goods here in Liberia. There's one reason why you don't hear the big shots in our economy complaining is because they have the bucks, they have the dollars, they don't care. But those people who are struggling every day, ordinary Liberian business owners who are importing from China, bringing their goods in country, and they have to pay these useless monies for continual tracking note when that can be done by the shipping company. I mean, so this is why if sometimes people hear, oh, we suffer. These are the reasons why Liberians are suffering because there's so much barrier to trade in this country. created by groups like GTMS with this useless continuum tracking note to the point that Liberian businesses have to struggle. They have to struggle.
Yeah.
People have to join money together before they bring one continuum in country.
In fact, you know what they're bringing up again is something called the GTMS report.
Mm-hmm.
After you've paid your money to LRA, then they come back and say they continue to get council. What the GTMS report? What is that? What is that? So they create a means to eat money, to steal money from the Liberian people, and this Union National Aminata Bangura sits and collects serious money out of this country and take it back to Sierra Leone and London, those countries she's based in. So at the end of the day, our officials of government, they are not talking because they have a clique, they're getting their portion of whatever they're extorting from suffering Liberians who going through whatever they're going through right now. Now, this is what happened at GTMS in recent time. There's a Sierra Leone manager there, a Liberian custom broker by the name of Fire. We have the recording here. We can play
We'll
it for
play
you
it.
right now. Yeah. So we'll play it today. The guy went to find out why is it that GTMS continued to overcharge him for what he did. In fact, where he uploaded his continuum form, the money they're charging in the Canadian dollar is less, 4,000. But coming to Liberia, GTMS were taking close to 20 something plus $1,000 from him. So he said, but this is not called for because you are not purchasing these, materials for me. I purchased them, put them on the container just to come and get a report from you and you're charging me. So they aggressively, the guy said, go to LRA. Go to LRA, I'm not responsible. He went to LRA, LRA said, come back to GTMS. So they do that back and forth. The guy got
Get you frustrated.
very much frustrated, and he decided to say, but what you guys are doing is not called for. They beat that particular custom broker on the orders of a Sierra Leone National, who is the manager at GTMS. They beat the Liberian guy, and then the guy felt so discouraged about this thing. Sadly, he had nowhere to carry his complaint because the Sierra Leone guy said,
And he
you
said-
do nothing to me.
And in fact,
He
you know
said,
what they
"You're
did?
the- you're not
They
going
threatened the
anywhere."
man that we will not even be accepting whatsoever your document to get your continuance and everything. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
No, listen, what are we turning into in our own country?
Mhm.
What's happening? What have we done wrong? Where did we go wrong? Now, I'm reading one of the documents that they usually give. Let me read this to you. And so for those of you listening,
I don't
now
get this.
this is I don't know how they call it, the payment form. And they have it's a classical means to extort money and to do money laundering. But Aminata Bangura and the likes of the folks into this.
All Sierra Leone people and Liberian guys.
They have two accounts on this document. The two accounts, one determined as international account, which is in Singapore.
Okay.
And the next one,
An institution operating in Liberia,
I'm telling you,
and you
though,
have to make payment to an offshore account.
I'm telling you. Yes, the document right before us.
But before you transfer money, in fact, all your accounts should be locally based.
Hey, my man.
Because there are
there's no-
charges involved in you transferring money.
But
From what-
government is not doing anything about that.
Yeah,
How many businesses are transferring money?
Eh,
The government
Liberia.
care less about what they should get in terms of profit.
Go ahead,
Listen to what the people say on their own document, right? They say pay by bank transfer.
Yeah.
So you know what this has been able to do and put Aminata and her group or whosoever in? It gives them the leverage. You don't have anyone checking on them. How much they wire out of this
Yeah.
country, how much people send into their accounts. You know the reason why you want to have restrictions on businesses in the country to know how much they take out of your country.
Exactly.
These are some of the reasons why you see our economy is not stable most often.
Yeah.
You got these people, they take raw catch,
Foreign exchange.
monies that are to be here, they send it out of the country.
Yeah. Nothing to remit to government. They
Nothing.
don't pay additional
So
charges.
Aminata Bangura, for example, people are not allowed to pay in LD.
Yeah.
You have LD, no matter if, for example, the USD is to be 250,
Yeah.
and you have a LD even in the
Up to
amount
300.
up to 300. they will
They will
not
not
allow
accept
it.
it. Yeah, GTMS does
As
not
if
allow
to
that.
say we're
Yeah.
in a U.S. country.
Yeah.
So this, go ahead.
No, yeah, basically, I like to agree with you. The arrogance have grown to the extent that these people will condemn the Liberian dollars
Mhm.
because you need to carry United States dollars. As a custom broker, if you dare stand over there with Liberian dollars, you'll be wasting your time. You'll be wasting your time because they're saying they want a US, they want to do XYZ, and that is what they will take from you. So Aminata Bangura and his team, they've been milking the country of millions of dollars.
And
Yeah.
and Obed,
Mhm.
like we are announcing to the Liberian people, for some of you that follow what we say on the radio, we don't say things for our facts.
Oh yeah.
We are starting on this note. Yesterday we said some things, and today we come to give you account numbers.
Yeah.
Tomorrow or other days to come, we will tell you from the time they started operating, at a certain point in time and up to present, how much they've generated from their account. We will let you know. We'll give you how much the people are generating and how they can do it,
Yeah.
and how they go about doing these things that violate all of our financial laws in the country.
Yeah.
What Liberians
Mhm.
can be denied of doing is what they allow Aminata Bangura or Sierra Leone National to do in our country.
Why are they allowing her to do these things that others cannot do so easily?
Mhm.
Why
And the
are they
thing,
making Aminata so powerful in the
listen,
country?
listen, they get brags that all the government officials, she knows them.
Yeah.
She brags about it.
Yeah.
She brags about it to the extent she doesn't care. That drunkenness has entered her head
Mhm.
to the extent she feels that this is a place where she can do anything.
Yeah.
And what hurts the most,
Mhm.
what she cannot do in Sierra Leone,
Mhm.
is what she's doing here.
Oh yeah.
And it has put us to a point to let the government or whosoever know that this country belongs to Liberians, in as much we as citizens will allow people to come and invest. Very good. But you cannot come and violate the laws of our country. And people that are to enforce the laws of our country, they sit there and wind it down with the people.
What better investment GTMS are guarding?
That's
the
the whole
country?
thing. They come and
nothing
steal and
better.
go.
They come
I
and
think they
steal
are
from
taking
us.
more money than
They're
what
taking more
they
money
went-
for.
They're taking money.
Yeah.
Clearly, they're
Yeah.
taking money. They're not putting nothing. in.
Where have you seen a company and you see these kinds of companies where they will give you or international account number where you
Mhm.
should transfer? What's the intent
Of transferring money
of
to
transferring money there? So if John Brown is in, for example, Singapore,
Mhm.
and you have a branch also in Singapore, and the entire thing is here, everything is happening, and here you have everything to take place, right?
Mhm.
Singapore has its own, company. If
Mhm.
even you have GTMS in Singapore,
They got their own account.
they have their own account there. They run their own thing.
Mhm.
It is a different country by itself.
Mhm.
And you have this country. This country should have its own account. The reason why you have these things is because any government wants to have control
Over the
of
cash.
how
Mhm.
cash comes in the country and how cash leave out of the
Yeah,
country.
the
Because
influence output of
if you don't
cash
do
society.
that,
Yeah.
there's a reason why you see international institutions start to report that
But Sekou,
there's some money laundering.
what is the
People taking.
essence? What is the essence of even going to another country to
Mhm.
transfer money? It means that there is serious
Mhm.
motive behind this.
Yes.
And so, as I see, most of the time, all these new people, then they are crooked.
Yeah.
So,
You know-
Aminata Bangura comes in country, and then for nothing, the whole city and thing is useless. So, in fact, to now will give opportunity to people who have been shipping,
Mhm.
goods to this country and doing export. Let's give those people opportunity to call tonight.
Yes. And
Custom brokers, let's give you people the chance to call tonight and express yourself. Unless you want to act like the leadership now that has been
Yeah.
compromised.
No, you can't get anything from the leadership.
So you see why the Central Bank of Liberia
Mhm.
has a regulation
Mhm.
where you have as a company or as an investment institution,
Mhm.
you must have your accounts right here in Liberia.
Mhm.
Is to ensure circular flow.
Yeah.
How cash goes in,
Mhm.
how cash comes out.
Great.
And to also ensure, like Sekou stated,
Mhm.
to avoid this whole thing about money laundering and
Yes.
terrorist financing.
Mhm.
Now, if you have control over cash in your country, in the banks, the money is circulating right in. you must have a time to transfer your cash when you want to.
Yeah.
You just don't. People don't take cash every now and then and send it to offshore account.
Yeah.
That is
A bad finance.
is bad financial practice
Yeah.
and it's linked to money laundering.
Yeah.
No institution should do that. Now, if the monies are in the bank, people can go there and take loan. The money will circulate in the economy.
It helps the
It
economy.
helps the economy.
But
to
then
boom.
woman is transferring almost. Listen, imagine the way in which this account is being placed or being opened.
Mhm.
It tells you that you can even be in Liberia because they had a swift code.
Okay.
So meaning, and not only something to say, oh, maybe you in Singapore, you wanted to. It means that even in Liberia, you want to pay, you can pay from here
Yeah.
to that account,
So
Straight to the
they
account.
which
say
it should
it's
not
a
be the way.
bank to bank service.
And
That's
it's not
what-
supposed to
yeah.
be that way.
It should not.
It should not be that way. Have an account in Liberia that can be, followed by the financial institution. We know if you're doing good business, if you're earning your money regularly, you're not into, some other clandestine move like the way they are doing.
Yeah. Like
Hmm?
like what they're doing, collecting money and transferring it and
overseas
doing all
directly.
sorts of stuff.
But
But the
this is-
people brave, my man. They're
Listen,
brave.
let me call you the account. They said pay by bank transfer for international payments.
Mhm.
Account number 0489080841. That's their international account number. So it means there will come a time, Amnata will say, you won't pay, you must go pay to that international account first because it gives them the leverage to take money out of Liberia without any check
Trace.
or trace of anything.
Mhm.
Because the people doing business now,
Yeah.
do you know that there were times, you see, the importance of us having this thing in this country, for those of you in government that are supporting these things, you harming your own government. You think you're doing it to people, you harming your own government, and you're giving someone power to do things against you. You know what Aminata is doing in Liberia now? She's into the local politics and will play Aminata voice while you listen to her talking about her support to political institutions in our country.
Yeah.
Now,
Mhm.
we have international correspondence.
Yeah.
So there were times I think one of our senior staffs, went to transfer the money to the international correspondence because we use the banking system. And because always we send money from the account and everything. There were times the bank we are saving with, they needed to give us a form to fill, and they asked us to attach all the communication agreements we've had with all the correspondents
Okay. Yeah.
because they
They
wanted
want
to
to
know
know the safety
if
or
we're
where the
not
money is
doing money
going,
laundering, something, send
or
them
if
every
you're
month.
submitting some kind of thing on the other side. So
So I called the accountant, the guy that controls the account for the radio station. I asked him, I said, "But what's the meaning of this?" And he was clear. He said, "That's the standard."
That's the standard.
Because always we send certain amount of money at the end of the month,
Mhm.
certain amount of money at the end of the month. So the bank wants to understand where are we sending the money, for what purpose, what's the intent. We needed to provide all the agreements we entered with all the correspondence separately
Mhm.
and attach it and submitted it to the bank. When we were sending for some of the broadcast equipment,
Mhm.
do you know what it did? I think one of them we needed to pay 45,000. And I didn't know. I took the money and I deposited the money into the technician's account. And we went there that morning to go and transfer the money. We did all the formalities and everything, not knowing that we needed to submit the invoice from the company
Mhm.
in which we were transferring that money to.
Yeah.
And the bank needed to verify
Mhm.
to know if that company exists. And I was like telling the technician, we need to send the money today. And the guy said, no, it doesn't work that way. Because we ourselves, we have regulations. We sending money, we need to know why we're sending it. So you know what the guys did? We needed to request the company to give us all the necessary information. They sent it. That day we could not do it. The next day we could not do it. We took all these things to the bank, and the bank needed to verify to know that it is a institution, a legitimate institution, and we were sending that money for the so intended purpose that we mentioned to get the equipment. And so they attached all the things they needed to attach. They attach all the things they needed to attach. At the end of the day, before in 2 days, they transfer the money. In fact, the guy told us, they said, we're transferring the money, but we're also making a check. We are searching to know. So, meaning the way, because I thought the way they send the money today, like tomorrow, next tomorrow, the guy said, no, we gave you guys week. Because in the process, we could find out something different, we will cancel it. And then you will need to. So, we are saying this to tell you that this is the standard and this is how it should be. But not like in a case where Aminata, she opens another account in another country and telling people to pay money there. And when you have the company in Liberia,
and sadly, officials of government support
Yes.
whatever Aminata does. At the end of the day, it is just like that. So I want to agree with Sekou what he said. They are contributing towards their own failure of their government. The first thing,
honestly,
CTN is a useless thing to the country.
Mhm.
It's got no positive impact, nothing at all. And so we're putting it up as a challenge.
Mhm.
What's CTN doing for people in the country now?
Mhm.
Let's be honest.
The
CTN,
first thing is
cargo traffic, that one are nothing.
even the intent of the company to have an offshore overseas account that
Mm.
people who are transacting locally have to pay to.
Mhm.
It says a lot.
Yeah.
All right. If you are paying in the banks in Liberia, you are liquidating those banks.
Mhm.
Obviously.
They can give out loans. They can, to
Yeah,
clients.
they also have
That is what keeps those banks alive.
Mhm.
Now you decide to send the money overseas. So I mean, these banks, the money not going there, they're not enough to even give out credit to people, loans out to people. So I'm saying this to me, officials of government who are very knowledgeable about the banking sector should in no way allow these, Nata and her chronics to do these things to the Liberian people.
Yeah, GTMS people.
You know what they've done?
Mm.
They've
There you go.
they people are put in system to really steal from the Liberian people.
Oh yeah, they're still
On this, I've seen document. It said
GTMS
make
stealing.
payment using your GTMS credit account.
Yeah.
Meaning they gave you a card or something, your account, you need to. So it gives them the leverage where you cannot have people having access to
Access.
anything they do.
Yeah. So the whole GTMS thing in one box is a big scam organized by a bunch of Sierra Leoneans, encouraged by top officials of government because they're getting their share of everything. So all of the sectors and stake actors involved, they're receiving their portion of it. We challenged the Custom Brokers Association to tell us about GTMS and the impact they're making in the trade and commerce of our country. We challenged those core of the authority at the level of the legislature to tell us what GTMS. The last time they said they summoned the people. Where did they go, Sekou?
No,
It was
it is
a
no.
breeze,
Listen,
right?
it's so good. We enter in the new year, right?
Yeah.
We have 2 days to the new year, and
Yeah.
let me say this to the people.
Yeah.
Let me say this to those of you in government. You think you're supporting this lady, and this lady she brags that she knows all the government people and nothing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine this woman? I don't know. She was, to the point she has gotten to a point she feels that she can even fight the media.
Yeah.
This woman had a guts to say she will pay the soup boys to react to some of the things. Are you kidding me? Now, don't be surprised. That's her habit. That's how she is.
Oh, yeah.
It is
Because
the same reason why she cannot do business in her own country. Listen to this news story. We will bring our Gambian correspondent. I've been working behind the scene with this. Aminata, from the money she has collected from Liberia, has opened a company in Gambia.
Okay. Aminata Bangura.
I'm telling you, all the monies that Aminata has collected from Liberia, she has opened a company in Gambia. She's currently working on opening another company in where? In Guinea. Mommy, you know what? Liberia looking there at the farm where you can go get the money.
It's a dump site.
You go do what you can do and you go invest in
But
another place.
aside from that, Aminata has also opened another company in Liberia called Septic.
Yes, she
And
bought
they're
that
doing
company.
the work permit.
Yeah.
So, this girl is only powerful
She's
as she
expanding.
continues to say that our public officials, they're all in her purse. And yes, indeed, she controls them. I don't know as to whether she controls them through her physical outlook or she controls them through her cash or both of them. But the fact is that she's navigating her way through whatever means, and she's doing this very well. And these same people in government, they're paying her back
Mhm.
because they're also getting. So at the end of the day, it is a you can go to Sierra Leone and a Liberian guy beat a Sierra Leone and nothing come out of
Out
it.
of it in Sierra
In
Leone.
Sierra Leone,
Listen, let's play it. Let's play it.
Yeah.
I want you Liberians to listen to this. These are some of the things we're talking. And when you sit there because you're in support of what they're doing, you
It's-
think there's something that we need to let
it's
go, right?
disappointing.
We will reach a point Liberians will speak. And we will reach a point that Liberians will say, no, this is enough. And the thing I always say is, so we're moving towards elections.
Mhm.
Let the people know who their leaders are.
yeah, the contribution these leaders are making to the ordinary people.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So let's play. Call the producer, man. Let's know if this thing can play. We want is right out there. We're a good thing to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
And-
also have voices of Aminata Bangura.
Mhm.
Do you know this girl? She carelessly say careless things about the same people she operates with.
Yeah. But
Oh, yes.
Masego, what do you expect when she come and
And
she
they
know
get
that
views that she
weakness?
can get these
Yeah.
people in government money, so she didn't care.
There's no respect.
She doesn't have respect for them, and she says anything about them.
Oh, yeah.
Me, I know plenty of them. Need.
Obviously. And so at the end of the day, Aminata was saying that God said that.
Yeah.
You know that aside from Aminata, on a general note, these people who come to invest here, what they go through with our public officials, they sit and talk about.
Yeah,
that.
they say, oh man, we
They
can
say
do
the man,
anything,
they
man.
say, okay, all are they other ministers? Oh, they make all the custom broker people, they get money.
Yeah,
All
get
are the
some-
legislation, they love me go, yeah, the man fire carry
Yeah.
a brown envelope. And so at the
Imagine
end
some of
the
the
day,
people then they get saying on the tip that she sent the other person 10,000. She sent the
Yeah.
other government officials.
oh yeah.
She's
yeah.
saying it on a tip.
Oh yeah, obviously.
My man, the number of lead audience we have on that girl.
Mhm.
My man, they get
And that is why we're going to do an honorable thing to play it piece by piece. We flip the pages and ensure that we expose everything Aminata Bangura
Oh, yes.
and her so-called CTN that is useless to the trade
sure.
and
I
commerce
think,
of our
I think
country.
it's reaching a point where we have the voices.
Sure.
We can
We can
gather
call
our
the
people.
numbers of the people to come out.
Yeah,
It
we
is
can
So let's
call
listen
our
to this
people out.
custom broker
I
who
mean,
was
this
beating.
is
We're going to listen
outrageous.
to the custom broker who was beaten
Mm.
by some of the folks there at GTMS, Global Tracking and Maritime
It's
Solutions,
outrageous.
all the orders of the Sierra Leone National.
You
You
do
can
that.
you kidding
Yeah.
me?
Sierra Leone meant another Sierra Leone to be like
Yeah,
a
say-
custom broker.
Say beat the man.
Like, Pune because the men went to ask about the
Simple
useless
inquiry.
payment of CPS.
Simple inquiry.
Yeah.
Listen.
So, and in fact, because their system, they delay intentionally, they charge additional $15
Mm.
on top of the $250 they charge. If you forget and you did not go to CTA, they will charge you $250 plus $80.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Hmm.
You know what brought some of the unrest in our country? Nobody's saying it should come back,
Mhm.
but people felt at the time that their voices could not be heard. That
Dissatisfaction.
their issues were not addressed.
Mhm.
For example, listening to what Aminata Bangura stars or one of our stars
Mhm.
doing to all Liberian
Mhm.
in Liberia.
Yeah.
And this man issue has not been looked at. Nothing has been done. The only thing is they put fear in this man that if he says anything, at the end of the day, they will not accept. Are you kidding? So you see what they're doing?
Yeah. And so,
Push
come
it
to
to
think
the
about
wall,
it, a public
shut you
entity,
up.
Yes.
the man going look for money to bring it to you.
Yeah.
You insult him,
Mhm.
you order his flogging, and at the end of the day, nothing you do but you intimidate and harass this particular man.
Listen to
That
this.
is the working of the civil union.
So you see, that's the whole thing. What also?
Yeah, I want us to continue because they are talking about
Mm.
the specific amount they were taking from him.
Okay, go ahead. Play. Hmm. Okay. Now you listen to that. You listen to the guy Odile. That is just one of the many issues Liberians are faced with as it relates to GTMS process they carry out. They are clandestine move. All they do for nothing. And tonight, we will call on every one of you that believe in us. You know, let me be honest. Sometimes we need to stand for something.
Yeah.
Listen to this guy Ordeal, a Liberian that is struggling to survive.
Mhm.
And he's been treated, he's been humiliated,
Mhm.
he's been deprived,
Locked.
he's been flogged for something that he should not be.
Yeah. So you go
This
get
man said,
so go get that money to be all rich.
this man said,
You go beat the man.
this man said, he has done what he could do.
Mhm.
He lived to all the requirements. this is where we are, and this is what exactly we are saying, that GTMS is a scam company. What they will do,
Yeah.
they don't have the sophistication to have the real records they should have. So, for example, how will you go decide the price of someone else's vehicle,
Yeah.
which you did not purchase?
GTMS report, and then
Yeah,
at the end of the day, they say go to LRA. LRA tells you that we did not ask GTMS to use our value. No,
very good.
GTMS said we didn't ask LRA
To use
our
our
value.
Then what they will do?
But they're collecting money.
What they will do? Even if you pay for said process, they're gonna make it in a way and inform LRA or whosoever not to give you, so that it will come to
you
them
pay the
and then you
additional
pay
money.
another money again.
So they
That's
create
being
delay.
wicked.
They create delay in the system to additionally bill the custom brokers, and who pays that particular money? Who pays that particular money is the consignee, the person who bringing the goods to the country.
So at the end of the day, brother, it's just useless to do business using it. That's the reason why you see most of the people going to Guinea.
Yeah, the transshipment from Guinea to Liberia, because they find it's very easy over there.
Yeah, all these kinds of bureaucracy, all these things
for
are
nothing.
So a certain group of people are benefiting, why the majority of the people are not.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this to mean when people are not using the free port of Monrovia because a certain group of people are creating bottlenecks, all right, to make the trade facilitation of trade very difficult.
Yeah.
And people have to route up way to Guinea. It means you are even giving money to the Guinean government to operate,
you're supporting the economy,
to,
then
to pay their civil servants and what have you. Why yours finding it difficult here?
Yeah, very difficult.
So I mean, that's the logic. That's the logic. Why? I mean, why? What is GTMS doing? Let them give me other trade that they're doing. I mean, so I can be able to convince people to operate. I don't understand.
Even if it was a Liberian company now, we'll say, oh, but
in Liberia. But I guess she takes the money, raw money, into money laundering. Like we said, it's so good we had our very first. And let me say, we're not announce the person that gave us, even though you said we can talk about it, but we should not announce your name. We want to say thank you for that process in which you've been able to give us, and how we can file complaints about this entire thing. We want to say thank you. I think maybe some of the people in this country, they don't know, say the Manisky Act. It's not just for government. It is about even businesses that involve into these kinds of actions, of which CTN or GTM they are involved with.
Collecting free money.
Dubiously taking money from the Liberian people and creating embarrassment for the Liberian people. You know all that thing they're doing? They can respect the Americans. They're seeing foreign companies you brought.
Yeah.
Exposing the people security aspect to another person. You know, Americans don't play with their security issues. They are citizens. So they brought in company, which we'll talk about at the appropriate time, called CETIX.
Yeah, CETIX.
To can't do
work
permit for foreign national. They started to do, they went to some Americans and everything. The people said no, they got to get their proof from the embassy.
Yeah.
And I'm told they were invited by some international institutions. Some of the embassies invited the people from the Ministry of Labor to give them reasons why their citizens should unveil themselves to such a process. How will you contact someone? You know what it means? You put someone information and you send it. It is not being posted in Liberia though. You send it out of the country. And
so that's out of the country that will store the information of these people. You think the people stupid because we the Liberian
we can just accept anything.
We accept the crooked attitude of Aminata Pandora, and today we make her money woman in the country.
My man, they is making millions of dollars out of our country with ease.
At the detriment. I was at GTMS today. If you see the number of custom brokers that move in that particular 8 o'clock, to tell you I was there today. At 8 o'clock, the office officially opened, and they got one window there for Echo Bank.
Yeah.
Every
And the guy,
in fact, when the guys are coming in, say, you know what they
GT
do?
Bank too there.
Yeah.
GT
When
Bank.
the men are coming outside, everybody more money. I can afford that money to pay here.
Yeah.
Some of the guys are bringing over 23 continuous pay a week
Yeah.
in the country.
And
So
they pay-
if it comes $250 US by 23 container, that's just for 1 week. I'm not talking about on
Yes.
a monthly basis.
No,
And that's
just a
just
one for one person.
One person. Yeah, obviously. So it takes like 3 months before coming in country, but you have to do your processing and pay oil for nothing.
Hey,
money
listen, let
over
me
there.
say this to
You see?
Liberians, Obe, before we go to the lines.
Mhm.
It is about time. Let me say this again for us to rise up and stand to say to the Aminata woman or the people in government
Mhm.
that this is enough. This is enough. We can't continue. What in Liberians way? Mr. President, let me say this to you. You came to power and you promised the Liberian people they will not be spectators to their own economy or in their economy.
Mhm.
You cannot have your government and you allow your citizens to continue to go through what they are going through.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What's the importance of this thing? When this thing cannot survive in Sierra Leone, where
As the
she has
Sierra
come
Leoneans
from.
themselves, they decided to clean the image of their country. How are they doing the image building of Sierra Leone? Is by stopping all of these unnecessary things
Yes.
that will not bring good reputation to the country. So GTMS, cargo tracking, no, does not exist in Sierra Leone.
We are
So
almost. We are.
so
al-
as they clean themselves, then
They
they
get
come and
brags.
get it outside.
They get brags that
yeah.
she knows the president, Aminata Bangura.
Mhm.
She brags that she knows the minister of finance.
Yeah.
She brags that she knows the former minister of state, Nathaniel Mangio. She brags that she knows almost all the people in the government.
And that's the. I mean, that is
Going to the extent now, allowing her workers to be beaten on appearance.
Yeah.
Do you know what we are going to?
Oh, yeah.
This girl with other people one day to get in jail. She will other people to put them in jail.
So you put him in jail because of
That's
all
how
the-
she feels that she's so powerful.
But guess what annoyed the guy?
Hmm.
He said because the man was shouting.
Are you kidding me? You do business?
The man went to pay money and you over there charged him. Don't you
You
think
just said
you
that
There
can
will be
do-
agitation.
The man should say yes.
Come on, man, come on.
There will be obvious agitation,
And
and
so
for the right reason.
So bunch of arrogant Sierra Leoneans sit in our office to take money, extort money
Mhm.
from the Liberian people, and they're doing it and also flocking
Yes,
the
my
Liberian
To
point.
people.
tell you that most of the people we have in our government, they themselves are some of the problems.
Yeah.
You have jobs that Liberians have to do. Aminata has come in the country with Sierra Leoneans to do the
Do those
jobs that
jobs.
Liberians have to do.
Have you seen a video that was trending on social media that a Ghanaian guy with an authority was saying to an investor,
Yeah.
"Yeah, we worship and praise this investor." That so the guy said, "If you don't want to do what the Ghanaian government is saying,
Mhm.
pack and leave."
Yes.
Because
Oh,
these
yes.
people stand for a particular thing.
Mhm.
The
But that's
principal
it.
man there. But in Liberia, they want look at that investment there.
That investment there.
Then the lawmaker will get vexed.
Mhm.
Will be very afraid of Aminata on ground how she's a so-called investor. That's how
Where?
they continue to
This
do the
this
work.
is the sad part of this whole thing.
Mhm.
I mean, we are looking at it from the economic perspective.
Yeah.
We are few months to elections.
Mhm.
Now, those who are able lieutenants for the president,
Mhm.
who's supposed to ensure that Liberians have an enabling environment to do business,
Yeah.
who should ensure that there are no bottlenecks in the entire trade process,
Mm.
they are sitting idly. Tomorrow, the president will be going for re-election.
Yes. And
Mr.
they are the
President,
same people that will go
They
to.
are the same people that will be responsible for whatever happens in the elections in 2023.
Yeah.
Liberians are agitating about what's going on with GTMS.
Yeah. So
And-
aside from the brokers, you're also talking about the
Ordinary
Ordinary
Liberians,
Liberians.
we buying goods from these people that are bringing the goods.
But you know who will feed it?
that,
That the end users.
that the end users.
Because
People
at the end of the day, the people pour everything on.
everything on them.
so it is about time now the government herself.
Yeah.
I know you people sharing money among yourselves because at the end of the day, few of these officials of government care less that election is around the corner. Next year, we'll be talking about activities leading to October 10, 2023 elections, right? You sit there and allow these things to consistently happen because you want to fatten your pockets and wear it. So at the end of the day, what happened? The ordinary people continue to suffer. Tomorrow, one poor custom broker guy will say on motorbike and say, "Them people making all
Oh yeah.
customer
Wizardry.
things not happening. and the money they post will take. You smart to process that continue the cabinet to Guinea.
Yeah.
And you see the kind of proper government. It's disapproval government.
It's disappointing.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, it's
disappointing.
disappointing.
Yeah.
And these guys don't see it. Look, if you are entrusted with a piece of job to do, it is your responsibility to do that job diligently.
Listen,
No.
my mentor tell you, say, I was looking at a certain portion of the article of incorporation. You know, when you do the article incorporation, it says to you the capital in which you should not go below or you should start with to give a broader picture of maybe your
size of the
investment
investment.
strength and all of that. Can you imagine? They said the amount of capital with which the corporation shall begin business shall not be less than 50,000. So, in a sense, these people should not go below 50,000. So, it brings us to a point for you to understand that the initial capital whatsoever could be even maybe 60,000 because any big investment will tell you your capital should not go below 100. 200, then it means that the still investment you're doing. 1 million, then it means. But if they're telling you a business, they say it should not go below 50,000. It can be 60.
It can be
51,000.
Yeah.
So meaning that's something like 51,000 or 52,000. The people open there, they now make millions of dollars. I hope you understand my point. Any serial corporation, they will tell you that your business should not go below either 250,000 or 300, 500,000, right? $500,000. It gives you an understanding that. So meaning
it means that
the
your initial investment
is above 500,000. Is above 600,000. So we're talking about 1 million. That means that you've invested something serious.
But to start
50,000,
50,000,
listen, honestly, right? This is not about bragging. But I could even own that company, right?
Yeah.
To even have this place we sitting now,
If you
spend that money.
If you do an appraisal of this facility,
hey,
that's a
no,
serious
to
issue.
have this place.
But that's what I'm saying.
You know, so look at. But why are people depriving Liberians of doing investment to now?
Let's break it down. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. Sorry, I don't have a problem here.
Yeah.
Let's break it down.
Yeah, okay, let's break it down.
So we have a bit of distraction here. But here is it, Sekou. Look at the facility over there. Is that building owned by GTMS?
No.
It's a rental building.
Right? Looking say
it's a rental building.
What
They're not bringing in machineries.
Nothing.
That their computer and just install system there and put AC. What kind of serious investment and put AC offices? What kind of serious investment? My man, if
so the first thing to tell you that the whole GTMS cargo traffic big flag.
She just use so
that's why when they open the business, they say, "Oh my man, at 50,000, don't go below it.
Don't go 50. So you can do your
52. But today, guess what happened?
They're in the millions.
They're in millions.
Oh yes,
millions,
and they're getting the money from Liberians. Right, and then you know the guy has gotten the money to the extent now she opening businesses around
other countries.
She has opened a business in Gambia.
We use your with the Severina will use your flog your people, take our money as well.
Go spend another place.
Yes. Enjoy ourselves.
They think
the
that
guy is in playing every time.
Yes.
In London. He resides in London.
Yes.
So that's it.
In fact, at the London address, she used on the article incorporation for her share. She has 50% share in the business.
Obviously. You see, until these things can come to an end, that people like us will have the courage that hey, Aminata Bangura, with all your millions of dollars,
we can
must
challenge
speak
you
truth to power and say the Liberian people, this nonsense have got to stop. The Liberian people must benefit in our own country. You cannot be flocking our custom workers. So that's what he said. They haven't been able to look into the matter because a group called themselves Custom Broker Association sit over there.
Very useless.
Very useless to the society.
The president for the custom broker is being paid on a monthly basis and he has leverage.
Yeah.
And then you got people from the Ministry of Labor. They have their girlfriends. They have their people there, members there. Yeah. But how do you expect the people to even, for example, my man, listen to me. Go to Sierra Leone. I've been to Sierra Leone.
Mhm.
I school in Sierra Leone.
Mhm.
I understand their laws, how they handle issues.
You almost
If,
naturalize
no,
this
honestly,
one. No, I
listen.
said you almost naturalize. I know that story.
Move on there, man.
And then for you,
Sierra
you
Leone,
probably
Sierra
to
Leone,
something to
naturalize.
tell you to put in to say.
Listen now. No, I went to school there, right? And I've been to Ghana. I see how the people behave.
Mhm.
Listen, go and make a mistake
Mhm.
and even say something not by touching
Mhm.
or Ghanaian or Sierra Leonean. Just look at the person and use, unpleasant words on that person.
Yeah.
Even before the law can take a code, you
People
will see
around.
Ghanaians
Yeah.
around or Sierra Leoneans, how they will respond to you.
Put to you.
And the worst of all, as soon as they get to understand that you are not
Not-
one of them,
It makes it worse.
they will try to put you in your place and make you to understand that citizens are very important.
Yeah.
Unless, listen to what this guy is saying on the recording
Yeah.
about how he was beaten,
Mhm.
how he was humiliated.
Yeah.
He did not go to steal. He went there on
To
a
pay money.
business issue,
Yeah.
and this man got angry because he feels within himself he has paid for whatsoever he needed to pay for.
Mhm.
And you, GTMS, is saying that he needs to pay.
Mhm.
It is the responsibility of GTMS to tell the man, my man, or explain to the man why he needs to pay, because it is the man money he's paying.
Obviously.
You can't tell somebody say pay, and there's no reason why people should pay. And that's the arrogance in Aminata Bangura,
Really, really
along with
disappointed.
the likes of her staffs.
What you
Because
call
if that
GTMS report.
if
Nonsense.
there's no
Yeah.
arrogance, you will not behave like that, right? Someone come in and say, I want to know why I should pay this money.
You know, money can make people drunk as well.
Oh,
right?
that's it.
It brings
They get
about
taxed
arrogance.
more than
Yeah.
50,000, 60,
And
70,000
travel,
catch
Yeah.
and travel with that money. And the financial law forbids people traveling with set amount.
Yeah. Above $10,000, you cannot travel cash.
You cannot.
Cash above 10,000.
Then when you put it in the bank, like what
Yeah.
we said, so that people can have a trace of it to know exactly.
It's either on your card, where your card.
It's something that is traceable. And,
But because it's in bank, it's passing through a banking
Yes,
system.
but
But to travel with the physical cash, well,
they
that's
get
a bad
texted
thing.
to Sierra Leone. She travels, nothing happens. And that thing, what she's doing, she can do it in Sierra Leone.
Oh no.
Of
She
course
can
not.
do it in Sierra Leone.
What?
She doesn't even have the space to do that.
Because we
But-
got Belen here plenty
But she's
now,
doing
right?
it, yeah. And they say, oh, yeah, she's under my feet. What has the company done for Liberia?
It's
The
disappointing.
least thing of all, right? At least if to say CTM could be doing what they're supposed to do, I mean, GTMS with their CTM process,
Mm.
the brokers, if they were not complaining, at least they could say, oh, my man, you're eating up. But the very
So
people,
you and I know we got lots of custom brokers friends,
Mhm,
right? You
yes.
know, you said with these guys, some of them are used
Mm.
car dealers.
yes,
Some of them are brokers who bring in containers for
Yeah.
people, whether it's Chinese company and some of these concession companies around. You know how they struggle.
so
You know what they do. You know what they tell you nowadays. Since GTMS came to the country,
Mhm.
that things they don't eventually change and nothing working. They are being deprived of certain things because, take for example, if you were to process a container for someone and they pay you $2,000,
Mhm.
not US though, $250 US
Mhm.
for the as processing fee, and then the person is about to pay that money as a for nothing charge from GTMS.
Of course.
You won't be getting
can-
what
yeah.
you get as a professional service for the job you do.
sure.
So government has added additional burden to these people income, and they're not getting what they should get. So it is a whole hardship again to certain group of Liberians by GTMS
Yes.
and some of the
And
people
even
in government.
encouraging or depriving other people to continue their businesses. Because if you think you want to make business, you want to make business for profit, you will pay all kinds of money and everything. You really want to do that again? You don't want to do it.
Well,
Like
So
people,
today,
people will go. So let's go to the lines and
Mhm.
listen to Liberians. For those of you out of Liberia want to participate, you can call us on our WhatsApp number on +231 770 907 907 +231 770 907 907. That's the WhatsApp line. For those of you in Liberia, our local numbers are 0880 907 907, 0880 907 907, 0770 907 907, 0770 907 the numbers to join us tonight on the program. Issues of today, right here on Voice of Liberia.
I think Patrick is
Okay.
want to participate.
Okay, let's
He
take this
called the
person
show
first.
last night.
Okay, let me take this person first. Yeah, maybe he wants to talk about,
Yeah.
Hello,
Hello?
good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Go ahead, let's hear you.
But you know, we ain't playing these people who bring our common vision in this country. They gave too much right to let people, so they rather do anything to the serious thing that they see they can do.
Mhm.
Your own country, you don't have voice, you're looking just about sleep in your own country. Then tell me that. I think it never happened instead. We in the art with we know how they can talk, we know how they can say it.
Mhm.
But like, but they do their own thing, they have to do that.
Okay, thank you. And then I'm getting a report that the building that GTMS is in currently is owned by NPA. This whole thing is like a deal. And the new NPA boss. Hello,
Hello.
good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is John Kiri on calling from the Dosa Bell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this thing happened in your country because like people, I don't understand ourselves. We don't know what we want. That's the reason why those things get nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because people say there they look out and those things happen to them. Besides, we in Ghana, because nobody can own companies and then Ghanaian will not be the manager.
Mm-hmm.
But Liberia, we say we do anything because of money. So we sell our favorites to people. So that's the reason why those things can happen to us. That free time you talk about, I think it happened. No Liberian will be a free time man, be a manager and be a free time man. They will not wait. They will surely ask you to that place. But for with the Liberian, we don't know what we want. So that's the reason why all those kind of things happening to us. But however, we'll get back to the battle about the city. So another thing about where they call the official can talk, then we kind of want to, and then we'll see who listen to them. So it just a lesson for those that are listening. Or father.
No, but you know what we need to do? You know what we need to do, brother? At times we don't need to go out because of political reason, but these are some of the reasons why we need to come out and let the government know that we are tired of going through some of these things. No, not tired of it. We are tired of going through. You can't have a company that is doing nothing for us and taking money from us, and we just here to enrich one individual that she comes in the country and she leaves anytime.
And people be our Liberian
and beat Liberians.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We will galvanize the Liberian people, and y'all will see how the Liberian people believe in what we say. Hello.
Hello, Sekou.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to my brother and friend Obed. This is DJ Lomez.
Oh, DJ Lomez, go ahead, Chief.
Thank you very much for the program. You know, Obed, I've been following Obed from the day they company came here when you were at your FM. And we kept seeing this thing. That the company is bad. No need of having these people call tracking notes.
Yeah, tracking notes are nothing.
Because Beaver is doing the same old thing. The only thing that is there is take the document from Beaver and give it to them and they put it into their computer.
Yeah, right now we got Metex. Beaver is not there again. We got Metex.
Okay, Metex. You take the document from Metex and go and just put it in the computer and sit down. At the end of the day, you pay that money and they receive it. That's the reason why today Peppermint Kennedy is able for our Peppermint Kennedy. It's either 3 for 10 because of this thing that happening. So at the end of the day, we the consumer, we will go through it because in America, the businessman will pay $10 for something, you will bring it to us for $15. The businessman will not lose. So we the consumer, we see that move. And as government officials said there, because they get caught from A, at the end of the day, they say nothing to A. But this is the time.
DJ Lomez, this will be the very first time you come out so that we all can join our voices. We need to come out in our numbers.
That is true.
And let the people understand that Liberians are fed up with this entire city and thing or GTMS.
Yeah, we got city.
Because nothing we getting for A.
Yeah.
We're not even in our budget and nothing we're collecting our money.
Where going? Where government portion going?
Yeah, we want the expedition.
And the woman take the money from here and tell the guy that she holding in Cameroon.
Yeah.
So what kind of wickedness is that?
And she opened a company in Gambia. I said, I will give you the whole lineup of it. We'll talk to our correspondent. They will show you the place. You will see how it looks like. Everything on the television. Good evening.
Yeah, how you doing, my brother? How you coming on your studio?
Go ahead.
I'm very glad to monitor this station hearing because my brother is still there. I used to hear him from Joy Evan, but for a long time I just monitor him.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm Richard T. Goodman calling from the Red Light District 5. You know what is happening in the country here? The love of man and the love of country, the love of country have gone down, and the love of man have claimed over our country.
What do you mean?
I'm simply trying to say we said that the country it is a Christian country, but personally now we don't taking we don't doing the will Christian because even in the church, the pastor, the whosoever that in the church they have made the church to be a political.
Yeah.
But man, that go to the
One thing
issue,
you should
Okay,
bro.
let's take another person.
Check
Hello.
it.
Apparently, he's not following.
Yeah, Uncle, how are you, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Uncle, this is Adam Makale.
Uncle there,
Hello.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Uncle to the lawyer talking.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Jiva.
Yes, sir.
Long time, how you doing?
Go there, oh, brother.
Okay. You see the problem in this country, the people, the leaders are blaming we common people, the voters. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes. Because when we elect those people, they're doing the wrong thing, we back them. Because we feel we voted them. When other people are there against some of these things that are happening, more especially how they call it, people sharing, they are the one that used to back those things.
Okay, and the same people that say that not good, right? Hello. 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 Hello.
Yeah,
They say who tell you that GTMS is good. And listen, be specific. Listen. My man, you lying.
Different thing.
Wait. Let me. I'm asking you now. Yeah.
You are Freedom FM.
Listen now. Listen. Wait. No, I want to ask you a question. Did I say to you that GTMS is a good business? Did I say that to you?
Your purpose cannot.
Hey, my man.
Create the platform for everybody to They make believe that you were participating.
Hello. So I asked you, did I tell you that GTMS is a good company? Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you on the studio. The way kind of thing I like for you. Anytime you get a deadline to go out against the people, I will be part of it.
Oh yes, we will come out next week and announce the time. We don't want to do it to say, oh, we want, but we want to get the attention of the relevant institutions and individuals that are to be informed with the U.S. Embassy near Monrovia what Liberians are going through about this thing called GTMS.
I'm coming now. And thank you very much. I'd like always to bring the people like Fidel. I'm happy today to hear Fidel on your studio.
Hey, right away, today you get here.
Thank
you.
Okay, thank you. Fidel, I run away, man. We'll bring him back. Hello. Good evening. Okay, let me take this person here. Good evening. You on the line? You want to let me take another person? Hello. Oh yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah. From Kawe.
Yeah, from Kawe. We know. Go ahead.
What's your name, brother?
The man saying from Kawe. Kawe people can talk. Eh? Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening.
Yeah, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. You made my night super, yeah?
Okay.
You know, I bring to the city and Momo Tabesa Jiba on the radio. I can't time for brand new battery for me to listen to that voice again.
All right. Thank you. And how you doing? Okay, maybe. Okay, hello.
Let's talk about the issue.
Yeah, good evening.
How are you?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you for the topic there, but now we're looking at more own. For my brother, when you go in the country, we're talking more about because I want them looking at and I want them just seeing.
Yeah, you ready to people.
The country, the kind of money company, and the kind of Ghanaians, Nigerian.
Sorry to that, but I'm not trying to bring more foreigners to do the job that Liberians are supposed to do because they not take over the permitting. Hello.
I'm David. I'm calling from
Let's hear you.
Yeah, so the only thing I can tell you, I want to tell God, let God will bless you. God continue bringing bless. God continue blessing you.
Inshallah.
Bring a family.
Okay, then you go.
Inshallah. This person. Hello. The calls are many.
My man, anytime I think about it, oh, I mean, that Bangura thing, I can just get very my spirit.
Yeah, my man. The thing can be anybody. Hello.
Imagine you know that they're doing nonsense, and at the end of the day, it's still being consumed.
Yeah, and nothing seemed to happen about it. Let me take this person here. Good evening.
Sorry for your
Tuba.
feedback.
Yes, let me. I'm trying to go to the lines and see as well we can take more calls. But honestly, like we continue to say, this thing is not just about us saying it on the radio. We need to take action. We need to make GTMS to understand. Listen, even when the Sierra Leoneans listen and hear that we are telling GTMS to leave from Liberia,
Yeah.
they will be happy with us because this company could not survive in their own country
Yeah.
because of what they were involved with. And we'll tell you some of the crimes and some of the things that Aminata has been involved with. We will let you know. Now, there are a lot of things about this girl. There are a lot of things she's involved with. So it's not to say the woman that in business like Royal. When we tell you some of the things, they'll be a fellow. Hello.
And that's what we'll call for this particular issue.
Go ahead. Good evening.
Yeah, so good. Thank you. And,
Spencer.
I'm Lawrence Spencer again.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Segun, let me say something. All of these things don't happen in isolation. You and your colleagues can see, right? The manner of foreign which those guys that we are always trusted our leadership to be like in our country is how people take off. There's a famous Reverend Paran that say you put yourself tomato pot, you roasted to dish you out. I mean, you said it right. You cannot go right next door, right here in Pool or Freetown to try out no say Bangura, why what you call yourself doing. But when the people get here, they notice that we have better will fail. Like they say, it's really the cost. Yeah, the people who are running the federal are concerned, but there's still they have respect for our country, our country dignity.
Yeah,
So that what I said, I was more using cash and kind.
Yeah.
To seduce these guys. Some people pray for kind, other people pray for cash. So there's a very important, like very man. Okay, so we're not use few people interested in coming to our country. Simple like I said the other day, we are always
Lawrence Spencer. Lawrence Spencer. This here is a flag. It is not needed in our country. They should pack their bags and go back to Sierra Leone, wherever they're coming from. Let's take another person on the line. Good evening, what's the name and where have you called from? Name and where have you called from?
Yeah, hello, how you doing?
We are doing great. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sekou, how you doing? Good afternoon to you.
Good evening.
Yeah, Sekou, like your brother, I mean, I'm from the place where you know me, the guy that you. The guy that he bought a car from by the.
All that is a private issue.
Yeah, Sekou, actually, was a mess to you. The TMD, very embarrassing, was you.
Yeah.
We are very happy with the future to engage the media on the percentage issue. Because I don't pay too much to this guy. So what is now? We just transfer our parents to Guinea for the contract and pay 2 times cost. Very too embarrassing because sometimes they're not only the money too much, they get part is too much to the problem.
Yeah.
You go there to pay up. Even the broker, when you for go with the broker, you want to get the broker. They got to engage with the water broker and very, very bad.
And my brother, apart from what she's doing now, the government of Liberia gave her another big contract to do work permits for foreign workers in the country. You see what they're doing to her?
So now what we do, what suggest you to do? Tell you guys are breathing from our.
Yeah, her pack her bag. That girl should pack and leave. Sitting here making no impact in the trade environment.
All right. Let's take another person.
How are you? 8:40, we'll talk about Aminata. Yeah, go ahead, please.
How you guys doing, man?
We're doing great. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay, thank you guys, man, for the topic tonight. My brother, you guys have said it all. We are the brokers. We are going through a lot of constraints with this CTA people. CTA is just here.
Useless.
Just collecting money from the Liberian people and the business people.
They got no use.
What they are doing, they are putting out of job.
because of the money, illegal money that they are collecting, money that is not genuine, they are not working for.
Yeah.
They're collecting no kind of money.
That will make them rich.
Can you imagine that if you go for CPN number over there, the poor they say, oh, you got to pay some kind of money for express, they call it. 15 naira extra beside the money you pay for them. Then they give you 2 receipts. So you see the kind of money they collect here? Then the new thing they do again, they are acting like they are letters. Letters are the one, even letters are only the declaration of custom duty.
Yeah.
But letters only if you see on the duty estimated, they say estimated value.
Yeah.
They don't get final value or estimated duty, final duty for.
But GTMS acting like they don't want to do it everything. They do a jinking.
Custom will see reason and look at it. If the tariff is correct, if the value is correct, then custom will apply. But now CPN now taking the work of methods and custom.
You see
You
that?
see
They're
that?
sending value
Duplicating
to
custom. Aminata Bangura making herself to know that she's something extra in this country that she do the system. Thank you. Let's take another person.
Who authorized it? Who
Oh,
authorized it to start giving estimated value and thing for people using?
you, the custom brokers, you need to take action against these people so they can pack and leave
But
because
initially, let me tell you, my brother, initially when they got in the country, we went against them.
yeah,
But because as you guys have seen, there are strong, powerful people in the system of
Yup.
the government.
your
They
entire
are
leadership.
benefiting from you guys. So for that reason, they reneging on these things that are happening in the country.
So
Nobody is speaking to these things.
thank you. Let's take
We
another
want to
person.
teach them.
We'll take a few more and then we'll transition. We'll talk about Aminata and song in the any of the program as well. Let's take this person. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing?
How about what's your name and where you come from? Let's hear you.
Morris Duple calling from District 15.
Yeah, let's hear you go. All right.
Yeah, okay. For me, I don't really know how it looks like. But my son in America sent me a car.
Mhm.
And before sending the car, he told me, he said, Father, the shipping money to go down there, they told me to pay 1,500. And when the car reached down there, I will pay 1,500. So when the car get here, the people went there, the people say we have to pay 3,000, 650. So we could not able to get the car. The man said he don't have money. So the car left there.
Okay. This will be our final caller.
So we get lost with that, and then we do have knowledge to that. I will not have any money to free the car so I can sell the car. So really, I'm happy with this conversation tonight.
We will continue
I
this
really
particular
want to know about
conversation.
the people exploiting people.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll hold on right there. Liberians, you've spoken and you couldn't just say what you've said. We cannot overly emphasize on this until we take action. No. Aminata Bangura and her bunch of Sierra Leoneans, they continue to bring suffering because of our governance structure. Because the government officials don't want EEE money, so they bring the company to steal for you and other Liberian people. That is the simple and clear thing about this so-called good for nothing city and cargo tracking though. They're not doing the job.
And
they cannot
let
do
me
the
tell you
job.
something. And let me
And
say
they
something.
RPC.
Let me say something.
Mhm.
One of Amnata persons that protecting her in the government was caught stealing current.
Yeah,
Emmanuel Nukwe,
yeah,
the senator of Mangini County. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have the documents here.
yeah.
He was caught, and in fact, it was through the intervention of the pro tempore of the Liberian Senate
Mhm. That's why
that they needed to
every time-
reduce the
bill.
payment you're supposed to make.
Mhm.
Nukwe was caught stealing current.
Mhm.
He's been stealing current. That one of Amnata Bangura person that
Partners,
she's
yeah.
depending on.
These are guys
I'm
who,
telling you,
yeah,
you see, Nukwe of all persons should steal current.
yeah,
Amen, for God's sake, man.
yeah.
What Liberia has become is because when you operate with people like Aminata,
They can put it
that's the end result. That's the end result. So it tells you that Aminata will not be afraid to steal.
Yeah, and so in fact, there's
Nukwe of all persons is either common sense or current rule. Hello?
Yeah,
Good evening. Go ahead. We're still talking about Aminata. We're not talking about Nukwe. We just want to let you know.
oh, this is Dan Johnson and Prince of Power.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so you think, you know, the last time I can remember is sometime
I think there's the people that you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
At the end of the day, the process
Tomorrow we'll
was
talk about
I give
Oh,
the
okay. Thank you very much. Hello.
man.
yeah. So we
Yeah, good evening. Let's hear you.
yeah, my brother, I will please my people, let me tell you,
Mm.
my brother, test me your private number. This is their example. Lot of institutions can do that.
Okay, listen to me. Take my number now. Take my number. Take my number.
Yeah.
077. That's my personal number. Me,
Yeah.
my own, I can't hardly. 0770
Yeah.
94
94
20
20
48.
48. Thank
It
you
is
very much.
on WhatsApp. It is on direct. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right. This thing. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm from Orange Grove. They come here to Lloyd. Orange Grove.
Okay. Grand Bassa. Go ahead.
I was joined that little fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then African come for here.
Yeah. I
Because
could get along with
if
her team.
If you are doing something positive with the people here,
We don't want nothing wrong to do today.
Oh, thank you. We will galvanize the Liberian people. Hello.
Hello, Segu.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is nothing from our.
Hardware. Go ahead.
Only Liberia will be taking nothing of this time. Always say this.
Mhm.
We were in Ghana, and me, I lay Ghana, lay arrow for this time. Oh, this kind of thing happening. Go out of the or Tapari. This kind of thing happening there. The Ghanaians always they study, they come up with and put a certain step. I want to country the official, the government, they can put it, the alien put it in citizen. It's wrong. And you know what I'm saying? It's wrong. Yeah? Don't compare my you see that thing happening always to bring any chance I have always the point is the government. They always because they say no conflict somewhere, always conflict the mind. You know what I'm saying? Because why? Because they get a little money and they spend it out and they still in house this way. I want to be in the country. So for me, I really need to be hoping the power can bring it out.
Oh, yes. We will do that. We'll bring people out so that Aminata Bangura will know that this country belongs to Liberians. Yes.
We still waiting to go. To be fair, nobody in the country.
Yeah.
no, but we're doing it peacefully. Then I will say to them, we're going to try.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, something, Liberians themselves will come out. Sometimes they think it should not be about politics or where we want to satisfy their political
Not
institution.
putting nobody picture.
And we ain't doing anything. The thing here is, Liberians deserve better. If the government doesn't want to know what's happening to the people, we will let them know what's happening to the people. What the people are going through. What are the constraints? What are the problems they've been faced with on a daily basis? When the government is to create the enabling environment so that to give the people the opportunity to explore into what they want to do. You cannot have a company that is doing something that she needs not to do, and the worst of all, they are beating on Liberians, and no one seems to say anything. And they get brags that she knows the president. She brags that she knows the minister of finance. She brags that she knows the former minister of state and the likes of other people in the government. Is this the way we want to run this country? Is this the Liberia that we continue to fight for? To allow foreigners to come and do things against our laws? If this could be a Liberian company, but now you will see the actions the bugger will be taking. The people in government, you will see but this company that they're not even. God. Let's take a few calls, my brother. Hello. Good evening. Obed is enjoying the show. So good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Again, my name is Matthew. I come for everything.
Yeah, go ahead now. Let's hear you.
There's about time for there are people saying enough is enough.
Yes. About GTMS.
We're going to do a bit, but
we'll make them not to operate for that day. We'll be there, and we'll send a signal out to the U.S. embassy and near other embassies. Do you know that the embassies can bring their goods in the country? Oh yeah, they can bring their containers and they go through all these kinds of problems and everything in this country. But do you know that ArcelorMittal has refused to even pay? That people that serious company, they can pay money to one Coke or Dubio there. called CTA. Go ahead, my brother. Okay, so you know, Asla Meta doesn't want to pay, and they're right. We support them. Why will you pay to a company that you all the other taxes and everything you would need to pay? Then again, you go to one company called CTN to go pay again. I mean GTN to go pay for what?
Aside from that, then you got something they call the GTMS report again. You have to
Okay.
pay. So almost like you're paying double revenue over clearing of containers.
Oh,
after
one
paying,
thing.
Yeah, after paying for so-called CTN that doesn't exist, and then at the end of the day, they bring additional things. So the Lex figure said, I will continue to say, these people, we can't speak our dialect on them, but it is about time that we say to these people who advocate for you, the custom brokers, who advocate for you, Liberians, going through the hardship in country, that this thing must come to an end. It's either they stop it or they pack and leave our country because it is useless, it is unnecessary, it is not making any impact, but it is creating hardship for us Liberians. And so, well, I think we have indeed said enough. We've got the document, we got a recording on Aminata Bangura, which we will play it on subsequent editions of the program. We're going to do that consistently
yes.
as well.
It's a whole thing we're going to take for the new year, and the new year we'll continue this. Hello.
Hello?
Good evening. Go ahead.
How you both doing? You say hi to all of your colleagues in the studio. This
Go ahead.
was a George. Yeah, simple just information. A lot of Liberians are actually honor your voice tonight, and they are actually appreciating people in the studio. In fact, right by me, and I say one of my brothers here, and saying I think the information, but I think the information are been out there. But if even if you are voice of Liberia, I just want to actually appreciate people in the studio there, you know.
Thank you. Thank you. And you should come up when we say we should come up, let's tell Amnata and her co-company likes or other people that enough is enough though. That your government okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's take this person. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, this is a good I'm calling from two communities. Sorry.
You in your own community don't know.
No, because I always come from two communities, but I live in Bajo Party.
Okay, go ahead, my brother.
Okay, so let me say this, right? You know, we now self ourselves in the country. Those government officials, they are so very driving people. So that I can be disappointed that but maybe we don't know the deed that coming, I will never my president. No representative, no forgive senator, no forgive.
No. We can't agree to that. You can't say that on the radio. No, my man. We can't say that. My man. No, you know what? We don't agree and we don't encourage what it means about. Sometimes when people are disappointed and they have no.
You want to tip up?
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, but we need to conclude gradually. We never had the time to run through.
Tomorrow we'll be here with Aminata. Yes, tomorrow we're going to be having a show with and I want to really say thank you to my colleagues. I think this is what we need to do for our country. You know, always joining our voices together and speaking about the ills in the society. Speak about this. You're listening to Liberians. They are saying that they are willing to come out because this is just enough. Liberians cannot go through this. Business people, you are there. It is about time you said no. We can't continue to do this. Hello.
Hello, Secretary. How you doing, sir?
Good evening. Go ahead. What's your name? You joining us from where?
This is Joe S. Meadow joining from Mama Point.
Mama Point. Go ahead.
Yeah. So besides that, I need your number.
0770.
1 minute.
Yes. Take the number.
Okay.
You my boss man. All of our listeners are our bosses. 0770.
Yeah.
You get it? 0770.
Yes.
94.
Okay.
20.
All right.
48. That's my personal number. When you call that number or you text that number or you WhatsApp that number, you WhatsApp it myself, man, Obey or different person.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. But don't call now after the show because on the radio though. Obey not you?
No.
No.
That's right.
Yeah, what about you?
Yeah, it's okay.
The music boy. Okay, so sometimes it's just good to make these things, but we want to wrap up because the news is up next. Liberians, we want to call on you tonight and all other nights that we're going to be bringing to you this program, letting you to know about what Aminata Bagura with her GTMS is doing. You need to start to think whether you will allow things to continue to happen the way it continues to happen, or for once, not because of political institution, come out and say, thank you, Aminata, for all the monies you've stolen from us. Thank you for all you've done to us, but enough is enough. We are not aware of what is it that people are paying. So you won't say, oh, because for security reason. When last since GTN were not in the country, someone said they are continuing coming on the way, God missing.
In fact, there's an existing platform that tracks all continuing
In
cargo.
fact, the people have
If I
they
write
can
down
track,
all your phone stable, you can
track
Google.
it.
Once you have,
But you can use
in fact,
GTMS system and
no,
do it. You can do it.
that is the work of the shipping line.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what that platform does is that it gives you the opportunity to track your continuum.
Mhm.
So what the hell? GTMS, that's a scam.
Yeah.
It's a 419. Nothing impactful in the trade and commerce of our country.
Yeah.
It's only intended to steal, and that's what they're doing successfully,
Mhm.
fattening the pockets and the purse of Aminata and her legs, as well as some of the people who you trust as government officials. They
Mhm.
dress up in coat suit nicely with great fragrance of their perfume, but they are doing it only to steal. And guess what? As they do, some of these things are done, their families live best of lives. They send their children out of the country to school because they steal from UNR. The government, next year's election, Liberians think wise.
Mhm.
Be careful on how you make some of these decisions in electing your national leaders, because these are the same people that come to you. Instead of you being the masses, now they change it the other way around, insult you, and they bring hardship and untold suffering to you. the
And
Liberian
you know what
people.
we'll do? Starting from tomorrow
Mhm.
or maybe next week, we'll give you the list of all the officials in government are supporting Aminata and how much Aminata usually give them.
Yeah, they're kickbacks.
Yeah, we gotta name and shame the people that are making her to do what she's doing.
Yeah.
And then before, so the Liberians will know the officials of government that continue to do what they're doing, allowing this girl to continue to do what they're doing to Liberians. Gentlemen, we need to go.
Yes, and as always, we are gatekeepers. We are under obligation to do what we have to do for the motherland. And I know sometimes our utterances may not be to the liking of those who are affected at the work that we do, but obviously it is a national duty, and we have to perform our duty to the best of our abilities. But as always, we will continue in this cause of ensuring that Liberia is a suitable place for business, and that those who are involved with the trade and commerce of our country do not have to go through all of what they have to go through because of GTMS and this useless CTN thing that they are doing to strangulate our people.
Yes, in connection to what Fidel said, we will continue to strictly the trade and commerce of our country. Like we talked on Aminata and songs on yesterday, and we talk a bit about GTMS today. We have the whole time to talk about GTMS,
Mm.
and so if we'll do the show on tomorrow, eventually we'll have to expand on
Aminata and son,
Aminata and so on,
and
what
later
they
on
did.
continue with GTMS.
Yes, and what they did, we're still challenging.
And also
LPRC.
we bring you some victims of
Yeah.
their actions.
Yeah,
We'll listen
yeah.
to some drivers
Yeah,
claiming to be victims of what they've caused them
obviously.
based on the
Yeah.
unfit products.
So because you're buying for Aminata and Sons, that's why your vehicles experiencing breakdowns and whatever, because they brought in bad products, something that is not regular. But catch us on another broadcast on this particular radio. So
Mommy,
we
all kinds of
expose the
things happening
dirty
as well.
deeds
Listen,
of Saka Toure.
another company by the name of UCR. We about to go. Yes, UCR. Mommy, Do you know that, like, brother, your country, anybody can do anything? And most of the things that are happening are foreigners and doing it.
Oh yeah.
They may bring in company and underpay the taxes or bill or whatsoever he needs to
You
pay. We
see
got all
that.
the you see that?
Yeah. So when we come back, it's gonna be a whole thing we're gonna do here. Too many things to talk about, too many things to unearth. We're gonna do it as team of investigative journalists representing various institutions in our country. Trust us, we're gonna ensure that these things come to an end by the grace of God.
Our names are. Call your name. I mean, you know your own
your
name.
name.
No. Yeah.
Name.
No, our
Our
name
names
and
are-
name.
yeah, you don't call it
You
that.
want me to think about what your name? What the guy that can call
My
you?
name.
My name's what the guy from? No, he's
No,
from
the guy
West
from
Point.
West Point. My name's Rachel.
I'm Zawati, but I
West
don't
Point.
know.
Okay.
Okay.
And so the current issue as well, a lot of government officials and
Emmanuel Nukwe.
someone sent me 2 pictures of Lebanese who were caught stealing current big business people.
Look at that.
We were exposing. I mean, this is a whole edition. we're gonna be
Yes,
running
yes,
as well.
yes,
So,
yes.
Government officials are stealing
So,
current.
God, Nukwe of all pressing.
Yeah, one of the businesses who they call it stealing current.
Yeah.
And we're told that
But-
if I
Mama,
they
a
take all
little
the
sti-
speaker in high,
A little stealing current at Guti, eh?
Okay, so we have to go. Thank you
Okay,
so
so we'll be back here tomorrow. My name is Secretary Obed Jiba, Fidel Silly. We've been here tonight on the program, bringing you issues of today. Join us tomorrow, at which time we'll be back. And trust me, next week we'll announce to you when we need to come together to teach Aminata Bangura sense that this is Liberia and this country has laws, and you cannot do things, you cannot instruct your people to beat all Liberians.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.